about to get real. It's about to get real. It's about to get real. You ready? This is it now, can't quit now. Feel the pressure is on the rise. I'm burning inside, energy is high, and I feel so alive. Had to face up, so I prayed up, put my head down, and I came up. So what you afraid of? This is what legends are made of. Center stage of a new wave of hustlers, ballers, and renegades. Every day stay dedicated on a mission until we can say we made it. There's nothing that life will just hand you. Always did what they told me I can't do, and it's still all a gamble. Go and handle your handle. You ready? Keep your eyes peeled. You hear it coming? It's about to get real. Watch. It's about to get real. You know the deal. It's about to get real. This is high stakes, no off days. You cooked if you caught in the blaze. You either eating or you get ate. It's all part of the game we play. When I stand up, never jammed up. Can't go under, do you overstand us? Don't take it for granted. It's bigger than life on this planet. Enough said, cause I know the ledge, and I'm pushing it right to the edge. Only break bread with my real heads for the blood and the tears we shed. Impatient, we done waiting. So at the end of the day, either you all the way in, where you at, or you all in the way. It's about to get real. Watch. It's about to get real. You know the deal. It's about to get real. Sound the alarm. If you're scared, remain calm. We made it through the storm. When it's on, it's on. Come on. Sound the alarm. If you're scared, remain calm. We made it through the storm. When it's on, it's on. Come on. You hear it coming? It's about to get real. Watch. It's about to get real. It's about to get real. It's about to get real. You know the deal. To get real.
Katy Perry, Juicy J. Let's rage.
I knew you were gonna come to me. And here you are, but you better choose carefully. 'Cause I'm capable of anything, and everything. Make me your Aphrodite. Make me your one and only. Don't make me your enemy, your enemy, your enemy. So you wanna play with magic? Boy, you should know what you're falling for. Baby, do you dare to do this? 'Cause I'm coming at you like a dark horse. Are you ready for a perfect storm, perfect storm? 'Cause what's your mind,
There's no going back.
mark my words, this love will make you levitate. Like a bird without a cage. Time to burn, if you choose to walk away, don't walk away. It's in the palm of your hand now, baby. It's a yes or no, no maybe. So just be sure before you give it all to me, all to me. Give it all to me. So you wanna play with magic? Boy, you should know what you're falling for. Baby, do you dare to do this? 'Cause I'm coming at you like a dark horse. Are you ready for a perfect storm, perfect storm? 'Cause what's your mind, what's your mind?
There's no going back.
She's a beast. I call her karma. She eats your heart out like Jeffrey Dahmer. Be careful, try not to lead her on. Shorty heart is on steroids, cause her love is so strong. You may fall in love when you meet her. If you get the chance, you better keep her. She's sweet as pie, but if you break her heart, she turns cold as a freezer. That fairy tale ending with a knight in shiny armor. She can be my sleeping beauty. I'm gon' put her in a coma. Damn, I think I love her. Shot it so bad, I sprung and I don't care. She wrapped me like a roller coaster, turned the bedroom into a fair. Her love is like a drug. I was trying to hit it and quit it, but lil' mama so dope, I messed around and got addicted.
So you wanna play with magic? Boy, you should know what you're for. You should know. Baby, do you dare to do this? 'Cause I'm coming at you like a dark horse. Are you ready for a perfect storm? A perfect storm. 'Cause what's your mind, what's your mind?
There's no going back.
Yeah, you can be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong banging on your chest.
You could beat the world, you could beat the war. You could talk to God, go banging on his door.
You can throw your hands up, you can beat the clock. You can move a mountain, you can break rocks.
You could be a master, don't wait for luck. Dedicate yourself and you go find yourself.
Standing in the Hall of Fame,
Yeah,
and the world's gonna know your name.
yeah.
'Cause you burn with the brightest flame, and the world's gonna know your name. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. You can go the distance, you can run the mile, you can walk straight through hell with a smile.
You could be the hero, you could get the gold. Breaking all the records they thought never could be broke.
Yeah, do it for your people, do it for your pride. And you're never gonna know if you never even try.
Do it for your country, do it for your name. Cause there's gonna be a day when you're
Standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world's gonna know your name. 'Cause you burn with the brightest flame, and the world's gonna know your name. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. Be a champion, be a champion, be a champion, be a champion of the Hall of Fame. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers, yeah. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions, be truth seekers. Be students, be teachers, be politicians, be preachers, yeah. Be believers, be leaders, be astronauts, be champions. Standing in the Hall of Fame, and the world's gonna know your name. 'Cause you burn with the brightest flame, and the world's gonna know your name. And you'll be on the walls of the Hall of Fame. Be the greatest, you can be the best, you can be the King Kong hanging on your chest. You can be the hero,
where you've been. It's all been a pack of lies. And I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord. Well, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. I remember, don't worry. How could I ever guess the first time, the last time we ever met? But I know the reason why you keep me silent, son. No, you fool me. The hurt doesn't show, but the pain still grows. Some stranger to you and me. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. Oh Lord. Well, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord. I can feel it in the air tonight. Oh Lord. Oh Lord. Well, I've been waiting for this moment for all my life. Oh Lord. I can feel it coming in the air tonight.
I'm legendary. I'm legendary. Notorious. Victorious. I'm legendary. Written in stone. History's made. I came to rule. I came to play. Out of the rubble. And out from the dirt. This is my rise, this is my time, this is my birth. This is my legacy, I made for this shit. This is my moment, I was born for this shit. I make it rumble when I show my grit. I am the raw, I am the real, I am the strong, I am the great, yeah. I'm taking the crown, that's why I came. Cause I came to reign, know the name. Nothing can stop me, I can't be contained. I was born ready, I'm legendary.
Some turn to dust or to gold, but you will remember me. Remember me for centuries. Just one mistake is all it will take. Or go down in history. Remember me for centuries. Remember me for centuries. Mama tied my teenage
everybody for a great season. I say it every year. We'll see you right back here, same place, same time for the 4-peat next year. Great job. Go Panthers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Parish Panther Football pregame show. Brian Shackelford here alongside Jim Dixon. And, Jim, we've got the Week 3 matchup this week between Parish and the lone team to defeat them in the 2021 season, the Austin LBJ Jaguars, coming to you live here from Ira Nelson Field in Austin, Texas. And, Jim, this looks to be an exciting matchup here as Parish looks to go 3-0 on the season.
Yeah, and there's athletes aplenty out on this field tonight. The whole thing is you're going to find out if that was a bounce from last week or what's coming down the road for Parish, simply because they played just so flat. We're going to reference that game all night long, and we're almost going to treat it like a loss. Unfortunately, it was in the win column.
Even though Parish winning both games to open the season by identical scores of 24-17, but the Week 1 game with Aledo, a much different 24-17 victory than the one last week at Episcopal School of Houston.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was a bounce from the high off the Aledo win, or just they weren't up to par, and they were a little off. They were making adjustments, and we'll see tonight what they focus in on.
Absolutely, because tonight begins a 3-week test for this Panther squad as they face off against 3 teams in a row that all 3 of these teams played in UIL's state championship games last season. And the first one tonight here with Austin LBJ, as they went all the way to the state championship game last year, walked into that game undefeated at 15-0 and lost a tough game to Stephenville.
Yeah, and we talked about it Week 1. Coach Novikov is he's going in and he is testing his squad early. And he is he's gonna run the table or attempt to, and the only thing in his way is LBJ.
Right, and the Panther faithful hoping for a victory here tonight as these young men on the field look to avenge the sole loss last season, falling to Austin LBJ by a score of 44-42. But before we move on to tonight's game, let's take a look at the highlights from last week's victory against Episcopal School of Houston.
Yeah. Never looking back, always forward. Never running from a challenge, run for it. Born a fighter, so the fight in me's enormous. If you ever seen victory is gorgeous, I could put the whole team on my shoulders. By any means, we some universal soldiers. Don't ever try to gamble with the high rollers. You rolling with us or you getting rolled over.
The gloves are coming off.
The gloves are coming off.
The gloves are coming off.
The gloves are coming off. We taking no loss at any and all costs. Whoever we come across, we taking no loss at any and all costs. Whoever we come across, on sight we taking off. Tonight the world is ours. If you new to this, we true to this, we doing this. Never breaking cause we making all the rules to this. I got the fire in me, look in my eyes and see. Deeper than Odyssey, honestly, who's hotter than me? Nothing was handed, I hustled and planned it. I'm in demand, I'm the man, last standing. Champions rebel, when the score's settled. It's levels to being rebels, draped in medals.
The gloves are coming off.
The gloves are coming off.
The gloves are coming off.
The gloves are coming off. We taking no loss at any and all costs. Whoever we come across, we taking no loss at any and all costs. Whoever we come across, on sight we taking off. Tonight the world is ours. One shot, one clock, one clock. Who's gonna get to the top? Yeah. One shot, one clock, one clock. Who's gonna get to the top? To the top. One shot, one clock, one clock. Who's gonna get to the top? Who's gonna drop? Who's gonna rock? Yeah. Who's gonna get to the top? Who's gonna get to the top? Who's gonna get to the top? The gloves are coming off. 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 Whoever we come across, we taking no loss at any and all costs. Whoever we come across, on sight we taking off. Tonight the world is ours. Whoever we come across, on sight we taking off. Tonight the world is ours. Tonight the world is ours. The gloves are coming off. The gloves are coming off.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, sit back and enjoy.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we say good evening and welcome to Parish Panther Football. You are looking live at Ira Nelson Field in Austin, Texas, as Game On Sports Network brings you live coverage of tonight's football matchup between your Parish Panthers and the Austin LBJ Jaguars. Alongside Jim Dixon, this is Brian Shackelford welcoming you to tonight's broadcast here in Austin. And Jim, after grinding out a win against Episcopal School of Houston last week, Parish stays on the road to begin a stretch of 3 matchups against teams that all played in UIL state championship games last December. Tonight, the Panthers look to avenge their lone loss of the 2021 campaign in a rematch against the Austin LBJ Jaguars, who made it all the way to the UIL Class 4A Division I state championship game, losing that game to the Stephenville Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, and Parish is, again, just testing their iron. And Brian, it's great to be back with you after a 1-week sabbatical. Can you have a 1-week sabbatical?
I think it's possible.
Okay, well, we had one. So, we said it in the pregame that there are just athletes aplenty out here, and if Parish just doesn't close the deal really quick, they may have another repeat of last week on their hands.
Absolutely. We'll find out exactly how this goes as the Panthers look to avenge that loss against Austin LBJ. The Panthers won the toss. They'll defer. They'll kick to begin the game as Ryan Schiller puts his foot into it from the 40-yard line, and we're underway in tonight's game. The kick return for the Jaguars from the 2-yard line, number 28, Cedric Alexander. He's coming to the near side 20, and he'll be wrestled down at the 23-yard line, making the stop for Parish, Cooper Malin. And good coverage there by special teams. Jim, the Jaguars will start at their own 23-yard line.
Yeah, and Parish did a great job about staying in their lanes and closing Alexander off, because that kid is a load, and you want to keep him from getting north and south on you, and they were able to close him off on the sidelines and kind of shut him down. You don't want to let that kid get too much momentum.
And LBJ will start off 1st and 10 at their own 23-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield. The handoff from the quarterback, number 6, Gary Hawthorne, a new quarterback this week for LBJ. He'll hand off to Brandon Waits. And Waits gains maybe 2 on the play until he's wrestled to the turf by number 85, Caleb Irving, and Cooper Malin for Parish. We'll call it a gain of 2.
Yeah, and Cave came in late and was just working the strip, and again, well coached on the defensive line.
And just underway here, folks, 2nd down and 8 for the Jaguars. With the handoff to the far side, Cedric Alexander, and he's going to be buried in the backfield. And making his presence known early, just moved to nose tackle for this game. That's number 57, Ian Ussery, with the stop.
Yeah, and Ussery got a good scrape off the line, made excellent penetration into the backfield, and forced Alexander to make decisions, and forced him to the edge and just got him wrapped up and brought down.
And Alexander dropped by Ian Ussery for a loss of 5 on the play. That will set up 3rd down and 13 at the Jaguar 20-yard line. And as we mentioned earlier, Gary Hawthorne quarterbacking for the first time this season for LBJ in this game, replacing the quarterback who last week we thought had a very good game in a 35-21 defeat of Pflugerville Weiss. But we'll see what happens here, 3rd and 13 for the Jaguars. As Hawthorne looking to throw, he gets away from Caleb Irving. Now he's going to try to run, maybe go deep downfield. And that pass just off the hand of his receiver, Jaquan McGee, number 7, for the Jaguars, trying to make the catch. He's covered on the play by Seth Scott. And it looks like a 3-and-out for the Jaguars.
Exactly, and it could have been a whole lot worse if Irving would have wrapped up, and instead of going for kind of the hand tackle, he certainly had the speed to wrap him up and bring him down deep.
And now Faustine Mugisha, the senior kicking specialist for LBJ, in to punt on 4th down and 13 as Derek Eusebio awaits the kick from the Jaguars. The Jaguars 3-and-out on the opening drive of the game. Glad that you all could join us here on Game On Sports. A bounce snap to Mugisha. He's going to punt off the side of his foot. And this is going to roll out of bounds at the Jaguar 38-yard line. So the Parish offense, led by Sawyer Anderson, will go to work in plus territory to start this game.
Yeah, and we discussed earlier, I mean, they need to pour on the coals quickly and get these guys in the rearview mirror. And if they don't, LBJ's going to hang around and cause trouble later on.
Indeed, and coming off a performance last week in Houston, Sawyer Anderson, 19 of 34 on the night for 197 yards, the 1 touchdown to Derek Mays to seal the victory and go ahead 24-17 late in the game. Also 1 interception, and we'll see how the Parish offense stacks up against LBJ on this opening drive. 1st and 10 for your Panthers at the Jaguar 39-yard line, 10-13 to play in our opening quarter. The handoff from Sawyer Anderson up the middle to number 5, Maddox Reed. And the junior running back seeing his first action of the year. He'll gain 5 on 1st down.
Yeah, Reed had a nice hole to go into. Again, great line play, and it's what we discussed earlier in the season. It's, you can run gimmicks and schemes and all kinds of other things. It's really what happens on the two yards on each side of the ball.
They'll bring the spread formation out on 2nd down and 5 at the Jaguar 33-yard line. Daniel Demery, the lone setback, as make that Malin. Anderson's going to go deep. He's going to go for the home run, and he's got the catch. Oh, knocked out at the last second. It looked like Trey Williams had that ball, but knocked away by the defensive effort of Trey Young Henderson, the Jaguar cornerback. It brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, and you can't ask for a better pass. I mean, he had the right distance on it, got the ball to roll over, and usually that's 6. And just great defense to come in late and break that up.
Yeah, Anderson putting the ball right into Williams' breadbasket over the defender. The defender didn't have a chance to make a play on the ball until Williams had it in his hands, but made a great defensive play now to force 3rd down and 4 at the LBJ 33-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield for Sawyer Anderson. He'll take a high snap, roll to his right. Looking downfield, and Eusebio falls down on the turf. It appears that he and the cornerback, Fatu Mukuba, number 2 for the Jaguars, tangled feet. No flags on the play. And we'll see how Parish will play 4th down and 4.
Yeah, Eusebio just got laid off that cut. They just got tangled up, and that's unfortunate because, again, another just strike pass that could have been dangerous for LBJ.
And following the incomplete pass, the Panthers will leave Schiller on the sideline. They'll issue the 50-yard field goal attempt for 4th down and 4 at the Jaguar 33-yard line. Reed in the backfield with Anderson. Anderson will look to his left, the throw, and that's behind the intended receiver, Bryson Fields. And a quick pass from Sawyer Anderson didn't look like Fields was ready on the near sideline.
No, not at all. And that's 3 passes that you just got to kind of couch it to execution. And really the passes on target. The receiver's a little off, steps are a little off. And Parish seems to be a little out of sorts here early, which could be dangerous.
And we'll see how the Jaguars react to this turnover on downs. They'll take over 1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line with 9:19 remaining in our first quarter. A scoreless game here at Nelson Field in Austin, Texas. Hawthorne at quarterback. He's going to hand off up the middle on the zone read. And a gain of 3 on the play for the Jaguar running back, number 4, Brandon Waits. Waits brought down by Ian Ussery on the play, and quickly it's 2nd down and 7. Hawthorne, another handoff, this time to number 28, Cedric Alexander. And the Jaguars try tempo, and now the clock stopping with 8:57.
Yeah, and
as Alexander loses his helmet on the play.
Yeah, he's got to come off. And you're going to see just a steady diet of this, especially with Hawthorne coming in with his first start. They're going to try and build confidence, and typically just handing off the ball, working a very narrow playbook will give these guys confidence where they can exploit that later on.
Hawthorne dropping back on 3rd down and 6, avoids the rush. And Cooper Malin made the difference there, forcing Hawthorne to get rid of the football earlier than he wanted to. The pass wide intended for number 33, Hunter Howard, on the far side. It falls incomplete, and the defense forces another 3 and out.
Yeah, and Hawthorne just wasn't even really committed to the pass, unfortunately. I think he could have got it off, but was really rushed and kind of rattled.
And now the Jaguars face 4th and 6 at their own 36-yard line. Once again in the game to punt. Faustine Mugisha. The snap over Mugisha's head. Mugisha inside the 10, and he's just going to fall on the football and give the Panthers a huge gift. It'll be 1st and goal, Parish at the Jaguar 8-yard line. Mistakes on special teams costly for LBJ.
I tell you what, you lose one aspect of the game, and one of them special teams, and you may not come up on the good side of the scoreboard.
And now with a very short field to work with inside, they'll mark it at the 7-yard line. It's 1st down and goal for Parish. And trotting on the field with Sarek Anderson, Maddox Reed, along with Cedric Mays. And we'll see, they're going to split Mays out to the near side in a spread formation. And we'll see how the Panthers choose to attack here on 1st and goal with 8:26 remaining in the first quarter. Parish with their 2nd drive of the game. Anderson fakes the jet sweep. Now he's going to swing it out to Mays. And the pass just a little too far out in front of Mays and a little short, incomplete.
Yeah, again, just an execution, just poor execution, not really resulting in anything. And I would just go back to a basic boiled down offense. Go up to the line and tell him, I'm going in this hole on 2, stop me.
Indeed, we'll have to see how Coach Novikov and offensive coordinator for Parish will handle this. We'll see if we see more of a straightforward play here on 2nd down and goal now at the LBJ 7-yard line. Clock running with 8:21 to play in the first. No score here in the opening quarter. Anderson back to throw. Now he's going to find Reed in the flat. And a nice open field tackle right there. Credit the defensive stop to number 7, Jaquan McGee, holding Reed to no gain. Now 3rd and goal for Parish.
Yeah, Reed just the pass was timed great. Reed just didn't get his head around to avoid the tackle, and LBJ was just on it.
Though a senior cornerback and wide receiver for this Jaguar team making the stop at the line of scrimmage. And we'll see what is cooked up now for the Panther offense on 3rd down. And folks, if you're just joining us, welcome here to Nelson Field in Austin, Texas. Brian Shackelford alongside Jim Dixon as we bring you first quarter coverage of tonight's game. No score, but the Panthers threatening 3rd down and goal, and they'll talk it over, taking time out with 7:34 to play in the opening quarter.
Yeah, and Coach Novikov, very wise to do that. You're down there with their heels buried on the goal line. You obviously want to convert early, and this is a great opportunity that you can't pass up.
And that's a true statement. We're trying to see here what the Panthers will do as the Jaguars meet. And confab here on the near sideline. Parish will have 2 timeouts remaining when they come back to the line of scrimmage. Anderson now on the field. He has Mays and Maddox Reed in the backfield.
Yeah, we saw this earlier in the season with Coach Novikov, where he invests in timeouts. He's not panicked on something, and he invests in these timeouts, and it's paid dividends. It paid dividends against Aledo, and hopefully it'll pay dividends to refocus these guys and let them know, hey, we need 6 on this.
And here we go, 3rd down and goal now for the Panthers. The ball at the LBJ Jaguars 7-yard line as the Panthers with their 2nd drive of the game. They took over in plus territory on the first drive. This time they took over on the 8th, and it's 3rd and goal. Eusebio in motion. Anderson going to the near corner for Williams. Did he hang on? Yes, he did. Touchdown, Parish Panthers. And the touch from Sawyer Anderson, not there so much last week in the very humid, soggy weather in Houston, but this time perfect touch on that ball to Trey Williams for the touchdown.
Yeah, when you're not having to fight humidity, it's amazing what you can do. And he just dropped a dime in that back corner, and that was the only place that they could get it to, and Parish paid dividends on that.
Ryan Schiller now with the point after as Chase Burton puts the pole down. The kick is true. It's good. And, folks, your score was 7:24 remaining in our opening quarter here at Nelson Field in Austin, Texas. It's your Parish Panthers 7. Austin LBJ Jaguars 0. And so far, Jim, the defense has looked excellent. 2 3-and-outs for Parish, the defensive effort, and they've taken their 2nd drive of the game, admittedly with a short field, but they put 7 on the board early.
Hey, you can only play what's in front of you.
All you can do is take what you get and march it into the end zone. That they did, unable to convert on their first drive of the game out around the 30-yard line, but going to a more basic style of offense on this 2nd drive, and a beautiful pass into the back corner. Trey Williams able to hang on this time, and now it's 7-0 in favor of the Panthers as they're set to kick off. Dropping deep for LBJ, that's number 20, sophomore Kai Moreno, as Ryan Schiller will tee it up on the 40-yard line. And, folks, we want to take a moment to thank you as you're joining us here throughout the state, around the country, and across the world here on Game On Sports Network for tonight's broadcast between Parish Episcopal and Austin LBJ. The officials ready, and Schiller puts the lime green boot into the football. This will be short on the near side, the return from the 14-yard line. Trey Young Henderson will go across the field with 2 blockers, turns the corner 25-30, and he is escorted out of bounds on the far sideline. We'll credit that tackle to Dylan Davis of the Panthers on special teams, but a 20-yard kick return to start things for LBJ on this drive.
Yeah, short kick. You gave him an opportunity. You close contain on the lane on the outside, and LBJ found that and exploited it. Albeit they had to run the entire length of the field to do it, and just that net of 10 extra yards is enough to get them with their backsides off the goal line.
The ball now out at the 31-yard line as the Jaguars will go to work with 7:16 to play in the first quarter, trailing 7-0. And penalty flags will stop play, and this looks to be false start against the Jaguars, and that is the indication. The whole left side of the offensive line moving early for LBJ. That will cost him 5.
And LBJ just not into it just yet. They've come out flat on their first 2 possessions, and this one looks to be the same. And getting marched back 5 yards with good field position is not the right direction.
The false start penalty will make it 1st and 15 Jaguars. The handoff to Cedric Alexander, and the senior running back takes the ball over right tackle for about 3 yards on the play. And credit the tackle to Seth Scott, number 22 of the Panthers. It'll set up 2nd down and 12. They'll go quickly. 2nd and 12 now at the 28-yard line. Hawthorne looking to the near side to throw. The pass complete. Mukuba with the catch. That's Fatu Makuba, the junior wide receiver. And he's across the 35 to the 36-yard line. A nice play design there as they'll gain 10 on that play.
Yeah, and Daniel Demery came in late and just blew up the lead man on that, and just kept it from being more dangerous than it was, and came in with backside pursuit and closed the thing down, bringing the receiver down.
They'll try the same play again on 3rd and 4, and it's a first down. The catch made by Trey Young Henderson, and he's out close to midfield, but we've got a penalty flag on the play back at the 41-yard line. This may be holding against LBJ. We'll await the call from tonight's official. And the call is illegal chop block. That's going to be a 15-yard mark-off against LBJ. And while we have a moment here, ladies and gentlemen, we'll introduce to you tonight's officiating crew from the Austin chapter of the Texas Athletic Sports Association. Your referee this evening, the Austin area crew chief, Wayne Elliott. Your umpire tonight, Darren McDaniel. Tonight's linesman is Ralph Hadley. The line judge is Nick Foreman. The back judge, Julian Alvarez. The field judge, Maurice Williams. The side judge, Tanner King. And our 8th standby official is Steve Cantu. And they're an easy call for Wayne Elliott and crew on the chop block. That's going to take the ball back to the 25-yard line where we play 3rd down and 15. Hawthorne with one lone setback. He's going to try to roll out of the pocket. Now he's going to take off. And he'll get back to the 35-yard line, gaining back the penalty yardage with the stop, Seth Scott and Parker Meeks. But this is now 4th down and 4. Well, we'll call it 4th and 6 where they mark it for LBJ.
Yeah, and I think they were looking, I think that's kind of why they leaned towards Hawthorne on the start on this. They were wanting to exploit his speed out of the backfield and just haven't had the opportunities yet. And again, with another punt from LBJ.
And for the 3rd time in his mini series, Faustine Mugisha with the punt. This time he gets the snap down, gets it away. And Eusebio will let that roll. Too dangerous there with number 16, Yaheem Riley in the neighborhood. It takes a Jaguar roll all the way down to the Parish 20-yard line. And with 5:07 remaining in the first quarter, the Panthers find themselves with a long field for the first time this evening.
Yeah, and a lot of that stems from that roll on the punt, but you just really can't get after those things when they're rolling like that. They're going to roll away from you, they're going to hit you, they're going to brush you, and next thing you know, you've given them a short field. And a very wise play by Parish.
A 36-yard punt by Mugisha and the Jaguars. And now it's 1st and 10 for Parish at their own 20. 5:07 to play in the first. Sawyer Anderson, he's going to hit the out route to Eusebio. And the screen pass complete, but good coverage there on the far sideline. And the tackle made for no gain by Fatu Mukuba. It's going to set up 2nd down and 10. A good crisp pass, but even better play by the secondary for the Jaguars.
For certain, Eusebio was just within, a fingernail of busting that thing loose for a ton of yards. So that was a good stop by LBJ.
So now Anderson and company face 2nd down and 10 at the 20-yard line as the clock moves, approaching 4.5. The first handoff of this drive. And that is number 5, the junior running back Maddox Reed with the carry. He'll take the ball over right tackle and gain 5 out to the 35-yard line with the stop for the Jaguars, Jaquan McGee.
Yeah, and Reed's finding good holes on his 2 carries he's had, and they're finding success on that. It's just not something that they typically rely on as Parish's bread and butter.
And now after the 5-yard gain on 2nd down, it's 3rd and 5 for the Panthers at their own 26. 2 receivers to the bottom side. Anderson's going to go up top. And the stop route complete. 1st down and more. A big gain right there for number 12, Hutch Crow. And Anderson's pass is looking much, much sharper than last week in Houston. A beautiful route by Crow. And that's a 20-yard gain and a 1st down for the Panthers.
Yeah, and that's the first time they've shown trips tonight on the near side. And I think it caught LBJ a little stymied there, and Crow definitely took advantage of it.
And after the 20-yard gain, a fresh set of downs for Parish. They'll continue 1st and 10. Now at their own 46-yard line. Clock rolling with 3:23 to play in the first quarter. Panthers lead 7-0. Anderson The pump fake. He's got Fields wide open to the 10, 5, and in the end zone. No flags. Touchdown, Panthers. And what a ball fake there. The shoulder by Anderson, and it leaves Fields wide open. That's a 54-yard touchdown.
Yeah, and that's great coaching from Anderson, just to sell the fake and getting that linebacker to bite and getting the receiver that open room that that's all he needed with the safety walling the second receiver on the inside. It gave him a perfect lane.
Ryan Schiller boots the extra point through the uprights. And, folks, your new score with 3:11 remaining in our first quarter here at Nelson Field in Austin. It's now your Parish Panthers 14, Austin LBJ Jaguars nothing. And with the defensive effort we've seen so far by Parish, forcing three and outs against the Jaguar offense, and now 2 consecutive touchdown drives, that drive, an 80-yard drive for the Panthers in just over 2 minutes' time.
Yeah, and LBJ just needs to get something boiling on the stove on the offensive front, or they're going to let this thing get out of hand early. And I don't know that they have catch-up in them with the depth that they currently have.
Yeah, and speaking earlier with some of the folks here in the coaching staff for LBJ, they talked about losing a tough Week 1 matchup to a strong Manor football team, and then able to right the ship last week against Pflugerville Vice by a score of 35-21. And they were looking forward to this test here tonight against Parish. And this is a team that last year won 15 games in a row, including handing Parish that lone defeat in Week 2 of their season by a score of 44-42. And the only defeat for this Jaguar team came at the hands of Stephenville in that state championship. But now a 1-1 team as they enter 2022, and down 14-0 with 3:11 to play in the first here at Nelson Field. The kick this time by number 36, Dylan Sherman. And Sherman puts that ball into the end zone, touchback. And Gary and Hawthorne and company go to work first and 10 at the 25-yard line, and LBJ has work to do.
Yeah, and Hawthorne need to find something to exploit to give that kid a little bit of confidence and let him build on it, and just hasn't had the opportunities as of yet in the game.
No, the Parish defensive line very strong here in the opening quarter. And as we've talked about in other games, we have yet to touch on it this evening, Jim, but we always talk about how 80% of this game is won in the 18 inches on either side of the football, and right now it's advantage Parish defense.
Oh, for sure. I mean, Irving on this near side end is just getting great punch on the ball.
Hawthorne with the pitch on first and 10 at the 25. Cedric Alexander tries to turn the corner, and right there, Cooper Malin makes the stop, and that's the reason why that young man was second in the district in tackles last season. He just has a nose for the football, finds the football, and makes the play there for no gain.
Yeah, and they spread that pursuit out where they had them just basically set up for the tackle.
And now Alexander on the zone read coming to the near side, and he'll gain about 9 on the play. Daniel Demery and once again Cooper Malin make the stop. But this time, good blocking from the right side of that Jaguar offensive line results in a gain of 9. And the Jaguar offense moving with tempo now 3rd and 1 at their own 34. Hawthorne mouthpiece out, hands off again to Alexander. And Alexander with a short gain. Trey Williams will make the stop alongside Parker Meese, but that will move the sticks. And with 2:18 remaining in the first quarter, that's the first down of the game for Austin LBJ.
And I think LBJ's just happy to move the ball just a little bit up the field and get some momentum going.
And now first and 10 at the 38-yard line. Hawthorne on the quarterback draw. And he'll gain about 8 on that play, maybe 10. He's going to be upended at the 48-yard line. The tackle there made by Dylan Davis. And that is a gain of 10 and another first down. And it looks now like Hawthorne is building that confidence you spoke of earlier, Jim, as they're featuring him on some of these plays in this drive.
Yeah, and Davis had to come in on the far side, on the backside pursuit to close that thing down. It would have been a lot more on him.
And now LBJ pressing forward. Cedric Alexander takes the handoff on first and 10. And keeping Alexander on the Jaguar side of the field. That's number 33, James Cave, and number 22, Seth Scott with the stop and a gain of just a yard. And once again, the LBJ offense stays in tempo, 2nd down and 9 at their own 49 as we approach 75 seconds to play in the quarter. Hawthorne's going to throw And that pass knocked away. Fatuma Kubo with the catch, about to make the catch, but that ball jarred loose. Another thunderous hit by the Ole Miss commit, Daniel Demery.
And Parish is down 3 on the line, are just very disruptive. Just not allowing LBJ to be very consistent on their offensive approach at all.
And now a first, 3rd and long on this drive for the Jaguars. As we approach a minute remaining in the first quarter, 3rd and 9 at the LBJ 49. Hawthorne looking to his right. He's going to be flushed out of the pocket. Usry almost gets a hand on him, and there's the sack by James Cave. Big number 33 comes in to make the stop behind the line of scrimmage, and that will force 4th down and 14 on the Jaguars. Great defensive effort once again by the defensive line.
Yeah, and Cave, you can't do it any better than that. He stayed at home, he closed his lane, and then he pursued and paid dividends with that loss.
And once again on the field, the senior kicking specialist for LBJ, Faustine Mugisha, as Daniel Demery and Derek Eusebio drop deep. 4th down and 15 for the Jaguars. Mugisha will get another punt away. It's going to check up at the Panther 27-yard line and go down at the 33. Down there on special teams by number 19 for the Jaguars. And now the Parish offense will have 26 ticks remaining in the first quarter and a 14-0 lead as they go to work. 1st down and 10. And so far we've had two drives, 2 first downs given up on that drive by the Parish defense, but still able to force a punt. That's now 4 drives for the Jaguars and 4 punts by LBJ.
Yeah, and Parish is doing a great job as far as closing down the offense of LBJ. But what you're seeing is almost broken plays that, either by design or taking advantage of opportunity where they're getting these gains and they're not consistent.
Right, but consistency here by the Parish offense on 1st and 10. That counter handoff to Maddox Reed, he'll have a gain of 8 out to the Panther 40-yard line. And now the Panthers face 2nd down and 2. But before they can get the play off, the horn will sound, ending our first quarter of play. And ladies and gentlemen, we have the first 12 minutes in the books here this evening in Nelson Field in Austin, Texas, as we bring you Week 3 action on the 2022 Parish Panther football season. And ladies and gentlemen, your score as we head to second quarter action here at Nelson Field. It's your Parish Panthers 14, Austin LBJ Jaguars nothing. And Jim, a very impressive effort in this first quarter by the Panther defense, forcing 4 punts on 4 drives, and the Panther offense catching up with 2 touchdowns on the Panthers' last 2 drives.
Yeah, and the execution's coming, but what you're seeing is kids like Reed step up, which, it's not just the fact that Reed's stepping up, it's the fact that Reed steps up, and that allows you to use Mays as an additional tool. And that exposes your depth. That's like adding guys to your roster in midseason, and these guys are already on the roster. They're already contributing, and they're just stepping up with these opportunities. Indeed,
and Mays has spent most of the time in these offensive formations lining up as a slot receiver, as he will here. The Panthers open the second quarter, 2nd down and 2 at their own 40-yard line. Reed in the backfield next to Anderson. Maddox Reed gets the handoff, follows left guard for the 1st down and more, and out to the 45-yard line. And I think that's what Coach Novikov saw here, along with his offensive coordinator, that they're using Mays as a decoy instead of having him in the backfield. They've got him lining up as the slot receiver, and the Jaguar defense is confused, doesn't know how to handle Maddox Reed.
Well, I tell you how you handle. You put a helmet on him and stop him and bring him down, but that's a tough row to hoe.
So far, Maddox Reed with some solid yardage in the opening quarter. We'll get you some halftime statistics when they're available. Right now, 1st down and 10. Anderson back to throw. He's going to go deep down the far sideline, looking for the open receiver, and just off the fingertips, falling incomplete. And it looked like that was going to be a nice grab there by Cedric Mays. They line him up wide on the outside that time, and why not go for the home run there on 1st down?
Yeah, I mean, he's a tremendous athlete, and you have to account for him every time you snap the ball.
And the Jaguars barely able to account for him that time. The pass deflected, knocked incomplete. And now the Panthers in a spread formation on 2nd down and 10 at their own 45. Opening minute here of the second quarter, 14-0 Parish leading LBJ. Anderson sets up the screen, complete to Reed. He's got 3 blockers out front. Down the sideline, 30-yard line. 1 man to beat at the 20, 10, 5, and they save the touchdown at the last minute. The tackle there by Yaheem Riley at the 2-yard line, but great execution on that screen pass. That is a gain of 50 yards, 1st and goal Parish.
Yeah, Riley made that stop at the 1-foot line, but he did not give up on the play. He was in pursuit. And hats off to LBJ for not getting the 6 rung up on him.
And 1st and goal, Reed with the handoff, stretching, waiting for a signal, and the officials' arms are in the air. Touchdown, Parish Panthers, Maddox Reed. A 2-yard touchdown run, his first touchdown of the season.
Yeah, and Reed just got in that hole, and LBJ just did not wrap up. They didn't get a solid hit on him, and you got to get square with that kid, or he's going to run you over.
And now Schiller on to attempt the extra point. Chase Burton to hold. The hold is down. The kick is up and through. The extra point good. And, folks, your new score with 10:57 remaining in our first half here at Nelson Field in Austin, Texas. It's your Parish Panthers 21, Austin LBJ Jaguars 0. And, Jim, we've seen excellent defense so far in this game from Parish, and now with the last 3 drives, 3 touchdowns for the Panther offense, it looks like things are starting to click on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and it's like I said earlier, the first 2 or 3 series, you were just seeing execution a little flat. They were certainly getting opportunities, and they had a good game plan, and they just stuck with it. Everybody just kind of cooled their jets, knew it would come. And they're paying dividends now.
And on to kick for the Panthers, number 36, Dylan Sherman. The junior kicking specialist will handle some of the kickoffs here this evening for Ryan Schiller. Dropping deep, the Jaguar star running back, senior Cedric Alexander. And the last kickoff by Sherman went into the end zone for a touchback. Little to no wind here this evening in Austin. A slight breeze moving from the far sideline to the near sideline across the field as Sherman set to kick. This kick a little bit short, and it goes into the end zone for another touchback, almost out of bounds. But Sherman gets the lucky bounce there. 1st and 10 Jaguars at their own 25.
Playing with fire in the corner.
Something you want to do on a punt, not something you want to do so much on a kickoff.
No.
And now the first team offensive unit back on the field, along with a couple of substitutions. Checking in now for the Panthers, number 50, sophomore Landry Sattler. He'll give Ian Ussery a spell. Or no, Ussery is out there. It looks like Sattler on for James Cave, as the sophomore will get some work here. The Jaguars will trot on to the field for this will be their first possession of the second quarter. They trail 21-0 with just barely a minute gone here at Nelson Field. Gary and Hawthorne still at quarterback for LBJ. He's got 2 backs in the backfield. The single receiver to the top side. And Hawthorne handing straight ahead, the handoff. Out to the 30-yard line. A nice gain right there for number 4, Brandon Waits. And the junior running back will gain 4 on the play. LBJ staying in the hurry-up mode. 2nd down and 6. And that might be Waits again with the handoff. No, this time it's Anderson.
And Brian,
Alexander rather.
Brian, the tempo is one of those things. It either works for you, it doesn't, and if it doesn't, you're just compounding your own problems because you're not getting gains, and guys are getting tired because they're just constantly in rep motion.
Hawthorne to throw on 3rd and 4. And staying on his feet, Fatu Makuba with the catch, and some nice agility there to turn what would have been only a 2-yard gain into a first down for LBJ. He gets away from the tackle by Trey Williams, and the sticks move 1st and 10.
And that kid is an athlete because on the PAT he almost got a mid on the kick coming in from the wing.
And Makuba just a junior for LBJ. This handoff on 1st down up the middle with Cedric Alexander, and it goes nowhere, stuffed by Caleb Irving. And that will force 2nd down and 10 on LBJ. And as you said earlier, Jim, the hurry-up offense really not working right now for LBJ, as they are not burning much clock at all. And the last thing you want to do is go quickly, have this drive stall out, and give the ball back to the Panthers with tons of time remaining in the second quarter. On 2nd down and 9, it will be Cedric Alexander again taking the handoff from Hawthorne. And he'll be stopped by Caleb Irving at the 44-yard line. Irving having a nice game so far at defensive end for the Panthers. That's just a gain of 2 on the play. It forces 3rd and 7.
Yeah, and he's an operation from the backside pursuit, and he's hustling after the ball, and it's paying off for him.
And now it's 3rd down for Austin LBJ. They have 3rd down and 7 at their own 44-yard line with 8:47 to play in the first half. And there's the second sack of the game, and both of them belong to the same man, number 33, James Cave. He cuts through on the blitz and takes Gary and Hawthorne down for a loss of 7 on the play and forces 4th down.
Yeah, and Cage is getting great punch off the ball, on the backside on that thing, and just sniffed it out and shut LBJ down.
And folks, we would like to apologize for some technical difficulties we're having with the video transmission. Please be advised that we are working on it and hope to get that resolved as quickly as possible. In the meantime, 4th down and 13, and the punter, Faustine Mugisha, drops the football, and he'll be tackled by Trey Williams back at the 27-yard line. That's the second mistake on special teams for LBJ, and this is another Parish drive starting in plus territory at the 27-yard line.
Yeah, and Williams just got great pursuit in. They have been, for the most part, Parish has been conceding the punts and just allowing the mistakes to happen in special teams. Williams on that one was just hot after the ball and paid dividends again with just the fumble recovery.
And now the Parish offense on the field with 8:02 remaining in the first half. They have the ball in plus territory, 1st and 10 at the Austin LBJ 28-yard line. A trips formation to the top side. Hutch Crow on the bottom. Anderson in shotgun formation. He's going to roll to his left to the trip side. Throw up top looking for Eusebio. And Eusebio makes the catch, but he's 1 step out of bounds. And they'll rule that an incomplete pass and bring up 2nd down. Good execution there, but just a little too far on the pass.
Well, and Anderson was rushed on that from the end and just didn't get his feet under him on the throw, and it just sailed on him a little bit.
And now they'll stay in the trips formation as Maddox Reed will check back into the game for Cooper Malin. As Malin was the back on 1st down, Maddox Reed now the back on 2nd down and 10 at the Jaguar 28-yard line. A spread formation, 2 receivers to each side. As Anderson hands off on the zone read to Maddox Reed. And Reed will gain 3 on the play. Maddox Reed brought down at the 25-yard line. Making the stop there, that's number 7, Jaquan McGee of the Jaguars. And this sets up 3rd down and 7 for Parish.
Yeah, and Reed, once he has the ball, he just gets north and south very quick. He gets his hips turned, and he's tough to bring down.
And now the Panthers break the huddle. They'll face 3rd down and 7 at the Jaguar 25-yard line with 7:22 and counting remaining in the second quarter. Penalty flags will stop play. A charge by the Jaguar defensive line. We'll see whether this is encroachment or false start as Wayne Elliott and crew discuss the call. And it is encroachment with contact. Offside against LBJ.
Against the Jaguars for offside.
And that appears to be a gift for the Parish offense. The 5-yard penalty moves the ball up to the 20-yard line. And what was 3rd down and 7 is now 3rd and 2 for the Panthers. And they'll have a wide play selection here, Jim, on 3rd down and 2 at the plus 20-yard line.
They got to – they're going to – looks like they're closing it up a little bit and going old school here.
They bring in the jumbo formation on 3rd and 2 at the Jaguar 20. Anderson looks like he's going to move under center. Reed in the backfield along with Cooper Malin. And before the play clock gets down to 0, we have a timeout on the field taken by Coach Novikov and the Panthers. And once again, they tried something different there, but the play clock got away from them, and the Panthers invest another timeout, their second of the half, with 6:52 to play in our second quarter.
Yeah, and you certainly don't want to give back 5 yards, with third and 3 this deep into LBJ territory. So that was, again, another wise investment on the timeout.
Yeah, you have a chance here to really put some distance between yourself and the Jaguar Football Club if you can go up 28-0. And in the first half, you'll spend those timeouts when you need to, and that's a wise time to stop play and reevaluate here on 3rd down and 2. The jumbo package stays on the field. They'll switch the jumbo package from the top side of your screen to the bottom. 3 tight ends in the game. Cooper Malin in as a lead back for Parish. Maddox Reed, the running back. 3rd down and 2 for the Panthers at the Jaguar 20-yard line. Anderson, the handoff to Maddox Reed. And this will be very close to the first down marker with the stop for the Jaguars, number 2, Fatu Makuba. And this will come down to the spot by the officials.
4th and 1 now for the Panthers.
It looks like they'll mark it at the 19-yard line. Not sure how this translates to the first down marker on the other side of the field, and it looks like it'll be 4th down and inches for Parish. And it is. 4th and inches, Panthers. They stay in the jumbo formation. And this time it's Reed again, and he'll be taken down short of the line to gain. A nice play right there by number 8, Latravian. Panthers turn the ball over on down.
Yeah, and McCutcheon came in off the backside and just playing football, just getting after it.
Absolutely a good football play there by McCutcheon to stop Reed. He'll actually lose a yard on the play back to the 20-yard line. And for only the 3rd time in the game, after 3 consecutive touchdowns, the Parish Panthers had 2 drives to open the game where they did not score. And now, after 3 consecutive touchdowns, the Jaguars will stop Parish again, and they take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line, down to 6:15 remaining in the first half. Parish 21, Austin LBJ nothing as we play football here at Nelson Field. Gary and Hawthorne hands off on 1st and 10.
Gets it
to number 28, Cedric Alexander. And Alexander will gain 5 on the play out to the 25-yard line. Stopped there by Caleb Irving and Trey Williams for Parish.
Yeah, and LBJ's just not getting enough of those plays.
And there's an example right there as a low snap has to be swallowed up by Gary and Hawthorne back at the 20-yard line. They gain a nice play, a nice run on 1st down. They gain 5, and then a mistake right there on the snap. They lose that 5 yards right back.
Well, and what kills you is you're in hurry up. You're in hurry up with a new center. He was over here warming up on the sideline, number 73. Moose Johnson was over here warming up, and I think that's part of it, what's stymieing the offense.
Now 3rd and 10 for the Jaguars. Hawthorne back to throw. He goes to the top of the screen where he had trips formation, hits the screen pass, and eluding 2 defenders and gaining 5 on the play. That's number 4, Brandon Waits. He'll get the ball out to the 26-yard line. And this will be an interesting call for head football coach Jamal Fenner to see if he'll go for it. No, he puts the punter out there on 4th down and 4 deep in his own end.
Yeah, and Irving sniffed that out on the far side, just pursued. Just came in to kind of break that up and rush that play and force them into punt.
Now Faustine Mugisha back in the game for LBJ as the clock moving with 4:40 remaining in our first half. The Panther defense able to hold and force a Jaguar punt. Mugisha gets his foot into it, a nice punt. This will be Daniel Demery with the return from his own 43-yard line. Demery coming to the near side midfield. He drops the football. And Johnny on the spot to save the day for Parish. That's number 8, Dylan Davis. And I'm not sure what happened there. Demery just looked like he was running down the field, made a cut at the 50-yard line, and the ball just flew out.
It happens. You're preparing for a hit. You're moving the ball from one side to the other, and sometimes you lose the handle.
These are the issues with a prolate spheroid ball. Not always easy to keep a handle on it. And luckily, Dylan Davis there to recover for the Panthers. And Parish has the ball 1st and 10 right on the midfield stripe with 4:21 remaining in the first half. They'll bring the 2 running back formation in. They've got 2 running backs, 2 receivers to the top side. On 1st and 10 at midfield, now Mays splits out to the top side, the handoff. Maddox Reed breaks 3 tackles, gets into the secondary. A 15-yard gain for Maddox Reed. And after the initial block by the line, that was 12 yards on his own for Reed and the Panthers.
Yeah, Reed, you just got to get him square and bring him down, and they are just not able to because he gets his hips turned north and south and just drives.
A nice run right there over right tackle for 15 yards, moving the sticks. The clock now moving with less than 4 minutes to play in the half. It's 1st and 10 Parish. Now at the LBJ 35-yard line. Trips to the top side. As Anderson takes the snap, he's going to hit Derek Eusebio. And Eusebio with a stiff arm right in between the 1 and the 0 on the front of the uniform of Henderson. And Eusebio turns that into a 7-yard gain for Parish.
Yeah, and they have LBJ's secondary kind of guessing that because they've set up trips on the offense to show them something, and then they go near side to the single receiver, and that secondary is having to play and contend with that, and that's the first time they've exploited, or Parish has exploited that with that trips tonight.
Now 2nd down on a short 3 as Anderson drops back. Max Blitz coming. He gets away the screen pass to Reed. Reed breaks away with a blocker out front to the 10 and just making the shoestring catch at the 7-yard line. Or pardon me, shoestring tackle, that is. The Austin LBJ Jaguars, Trey Young Henderson, saves the touchdown. He just barely got the ankle of Reed at the 7-yard line. Otherwise, Reed walks in the end zone.
Yeah, that screen was set up perfectly for Parish, and they missed an opportunity, but they're still down there on the goal line.
1st and goal now for the Panthers at the LBJ 8-yard line. Less than 3 minutes to play in the half. Anderson rolling to his right. He's going to look into the end zone. Now he'll go short. And the catch made by Cedric Mays, brought down at the 6-yard line, making the stop for the Jaguars, Hunter Howard. And they'll mark that as a gain. We'll call it a gain of 3 on the play, bringing up 2nd down and goal.
Yeah, and LBJ just got square with the tackle and brought him down. And you couldn't ask for anything better with you backed up to the goal line.
And a 3-yard gain on 1st down. It's going to bring up 2nd down and goal, Panthers. The clock approaching 2 minutes to play in the half. Once again, the jumbo package on the field. Play clock down to 10. It's 2nd and goal at the LBJ 6-yard line. Anderson fakes the handoff to Mays. He'll come back on the route short. And the pass intended for Trey Williams falls incomplete. Anderson throwing that just a little bit too far outside. It's now 3rd down and goal.
Yeah, and when you're rolling out like that, that is a tough pass to get to a running receiver. There's got to be a lot of timing and a lot of work, and it kind of goes back to this season that these games that they're playing with LBJ, with Alito, and what's coming down the road on the next 3 weeks. That's all won in January and February, and that's where that play comes in, is January and February.
And now, following the incomplete pass, it's 3rd down and goal. And it looks like the Panthers will have to take their 3rd and final timeout. A little bit of confusion on the right package to come in. And with 1:54 to play in the first half, the Panthers do indeed spend their final timeout. And Coach Novikov and the squad will talk over what they're going to do on 3rd down and goal.
Yeah, and he definitely wants to get in the pay dirt and get another 6 on these guys and get a little bit of distance between them and what can be a very dangerous LBJ club.
And Gary and Hawthorne starting at quarterback for the first time this season for Austin LBJ. Things not going his way so far, as LBJ has only managed 2 first downs on offense so far in the game. And now they have their backs against the wall here with 1:54 to play. The Parish Panthers now out of timeouts, and we'll see what they have in store on 3rd down and goal. They'll bring in the spread formation as Anderson in the shotgun. 3rd down and goal at the LBJ Jaguars 6-yard line. Cooper Malin the setback. Anderson looking to his left. He's going to throw the out route to Eusebio. Eusebio gets inside the 5, still struggling, and Yasubio gets it across the goal line. Touchdown, Parish Panthers. He makes that catch at the 5-yard line, and that last 5 yards was all Derek Yasubio.
Yeah, and he had to get his head around on the pass and just run to contact, and then LBJ came in on pursuit, and that was all manhood right there.
Absolutely. I thought he was going to be stood up at the 3-yard line by Noah Baker, but Yasubio struggled and moved and put that ball into the end zone. Now the kick by Schiller is wide left and no good. And ladies and gentlemen, your new score with 1:44 remaining in our first half. Here at Nelson Field in Austin, it's now your Parish Panthers 27, Austin LBJ Jaguars 0. And Jim, this is a very different game than the one these two teams played in week 2 up at Parish Episcopal last year.
Well, and LBJ, if you look at their roster, is they have kids going playing multiple positions, going both ways. When you really shake it out, there's about 4 or 5 kids that are really committed to going both ways. But that squad from last year graduated 25 seniors,
right?
And that is very difficult to overcome.
And not that it really applies in this game, but it may be something that's in the back of the mind of the Jaguar players. And speaking with some folks here at the game, they are being forced by the Austin ISD to play up in Class 5A. The population of the school really should leave them where they were last year in 4A Division I, but now Austin wants all of their schools in Class 5A, so they're actually, for all intents and purposes, playing up a class now in 5A Division II. Sherman with the kick for Parish. And once again, he gets the lucky bounce on the sideline into the end zone. How he does that, I don't know, because it just cartwheels down the sideline, maybe a yard inside the sideline for a touchback.
I'm gonna let him make my picks for me on Sunday.
I was going to go and see if he's got 6 numbers for tonight. I saw that on the drive down today. The Mega Millions tonight, $210 million. I think maybe he's just give me the first 6 numbers that come to your head.
That kid, he's rolling lucky.
Man alive! That's twice that he has put that ball on the ground inside the 5. Within 3 yards of the sideline, and instead of rolling out of bounds, it rolls right into the end zone for a touchback.
I'll tell you, as a professional experience, footballs do not bounce straight, and that kid's getting them to roll where he wants them.
Now 1st and 10, Jaguars at their own 25. The handoff to Cedric Alexander, straight up the middle. He's got room to run midfield, and that's the first big play for the Jaguars tonight. He gets it out to the 48-yard line, and Trey Williams is the only thing between Cedric Alexander and the goal line.
Yeah, and the Vandy commit, man, he got the ball, got a good hole, and just took off.
Now 1st and 10, Alexander again with the carry, and this time he'll be brought down after a short gain. Stopped at the Parish 46-yard line.
Again, a lot of that was on him on the last carry. I mean, he really wasn't getting a lot of help from his line, and maybe he said, I've had enough.
2nd down and 8 now. Alexander once again gets the handoff from Hawthorne. He gets a block to the far side. And another 1st down, as it seems that the senior Vandy commit for the Jaguars, Cedric Alexander, has found another gear. 1st and 10 LBJ now at the Parish 36.
I think with the offense as of late, I think they need to change their mascot to the Possums because they were laying low.
And now Hawthorne to throw on 1st and 10 as the clock moves under a minute to play in the half. And over the middle, he finds a wide open Fatu Makuba. And Makuba brought down at the 22-yard line. The clock will briefly stop with 48 ticks remaining in the half, as it's now a fresh set of downs for LBJ, 1st and 10 at the Parish 22-yard line.
And this is when your hurry-up's your friend.
And now once again, 1st and 10, Hawthorne coming near side. The pass to Makuba. Makuba still on his feet at the 15, gets away from a jersey tackle, gets away from Dylan Davis, and gets out of bounds to stop the clock with 32 seconds to play in the half. That's a gain of 7.
Yeah, and Parish is just kind of they're not wrapping up their tackles. They're not getting good sight line on their stops, and LBJ is making them pay.
And LBJ quickly moving the ball downfield here with less than a minute of game time. They've moved the ball from their own 25 to the Parish 15-yard line. And they now face 2nd down and 3 yards to go. And we'll see if the Parish defense can stiffen up and keep LBJ off the board with 32 seconds to play in the half. Hawthorne takes the pass. He's going to go for the corner route near side. And is he in bounds? And he is. That's a touchdown catch for number 1, Noah Baker. It looked to me like he had gotten away with a push off there against Dylan Davis. No flag from the ref, and a nice throw from Hawthorne. Touchdown, LBJ.
Yeah, and Baker just did what you teach these kids. All you got to do is win the last 2 steps of the route, and that's exactly what he did. He went to his spot in the corner, made space for himself, went up and got the ball, and LBJ is definitely not rolling into the night right now.
And Faustine Mugisha with the extra point kick. It is good. And ladies and gentlemen, your new score with 24 seconds to play before halftime. Here on Game On Sports Network, it's now your Parish Panthers 27, Austin LBJ Jaguars 7. And Jim, the Jaguars made that last drive look easy. They take 6 plays, move the ball 75 yards for the score in only 48 seconds of game time.
Yeah, and this isn't something we saw in the entire first half until this last series. But we talked about it earlier, Brian. And these guys are dangerous. You cannot take your foot off the accelerator with them, and they'll come back and make you pay for it.
Absolutely, a lot of arm and shoulder tackling on that drive, trying to take Alexander high instead of hitting him low. And Alexander opening that drive with a 27-yard chunk on the first play, and then giving up the touchdown pass in the back corner. A nice touch there by Gary and Hawthorne. And now the Jaguars on the board and possibly with some momentum as they head into halftime. The only thing working against them, and I think that's why Coach Fenner really wanted to score on this drive, as Parish will get the ball to start the third quarter.
Yeah, and I mean, they just want to go in with and we got some chicanery.
Yeah, it looks like this may be an onside kick look. Parish pulling up for the onside kick. Now they'll go deep. And that ball's going to go out of bounds at the 15-yard line. That will be illegal procedure against Austin LBJ, and that will give Parish the football 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
They were hoping for some lucky roll.
Absolutely. They did not get the roll that Dylan Sherman is getting. Instead, it goes out of bounds. And now with 24 seconds left and a 20-point lead, does Novikov take a knee here, or do you try to make something happen on 1st and 10 from your own 30-yard line?
Oh, I think you roll in here and you take the knee, and we're going to make them kick it again.
How about that? Instead of taking the ball at the 30-yard line, the Parish Brain Trust has decided to move the Jaguars back to the 35, and they'll re-kick. And it looks like the Parish front line needs to move up about 10 yards for this kickoff, or they're going to be in big trouble. And now the official signaling that they need to move up, as the kicking specialist for the Jaguars, Faustine Mugisha, will tee the ball up at the 35.
But this is a perfect time for a special teams trick play, something that you can exploit. And Coach Novikov's not having any of it. He's saddled up with his hands team on special teams, and he's going to sniff this thing out and put an end to it.
The Jaguars bunch in on the kickoff, and Mugisha still kicks deep. This will be a return from the 24-yard line. DC Crane 35. And he'll get out to the 36-yard line. Held up there on special teams with the tackle. We'll give that to number 21, Caleb Crenshaw. And now you're down to 17 seconds remaining in the half. And I think discretion being the better part of valor here, we take a knee and go to the barn with a 20-point lead. But there's a reason I'm up here on this booth and not standing on the sideline.
Exactly.
No, Coach Novikov has some ingenious plans, and that's why he has won 3 state championships in a row with this Panther team. So we'll see what happens.
Well, and they're set up for the knee. So I think we're gonna kind of figure out what benefit we've gotten out of the first half, and but I got to go into the locker room very cognizant of that last series from LBJ.
Oh, there'll definitely be some defensive discussion regarding that quick drive by LBJ, and Sawyer Anderson indeed does take a knee as the horn sounds, bringing us to halftime. LBJ will let the clock expire, and folks, we've reached the end of the first half of play here at Nelson Field in Austin, Texas, as we bring you Week 3 action in the Parish Panther 2022 season. Folks, your score as we've come to the halftime break here on Game On Sports Network. It's your Parish Panthers 27, Austin LBJ Jaguars 7. And, folks, today's halftime is being brought to you by Dr. Richard Rhodes of Baylor Scott & White Orthopedic Associates. Parish Episcopal School wishes to thank our halftime sponsor and team doctor, Dr. Richard Rhodes of Baylor Scott & White Orthopedic Associates of Dallas, for his continued support and dedication to the Parish athletic program and its student athletes. And, Jim, as we look at the first half of play, except for that last drive by the Austin LBJ Jaguars, this has been all Parish Panthers.
Yeah, it's been nothing but Parish, and despite not being as crisp as what you would hope, some of the execution, but Parish definitely righted the ship, and we're able to execute and definitely get to the end of the end zone. But you gotta, you gotta be cognizant, as we discussed earlier, about that last drive. I mean, that exhibits the athleticism that's here at LBJ, and really you just kind of go, okay, were they? Is that something that we need to contend with, or did we just kind of not have our foot on the accelerator?
Correct, and it'll be interesting to see, because the Parish defense, especially the front three, and it looks like they played the majority of that first half with only 3 down linemen up front on defense. They were dominating the line of scrimmage up until that last drive, and I think maybe it was just the quick hitting of Cedric Alexander. I mean, he was getting to that hole so quick that able to get into the secondary and get you many yards after contact. I mean, that one run there to open that drive was a 27-yard run. It makes you wonder if perhaps, like you said, they weren't fully focused on that last drive, or if maybe LBJ has found a chink in the armor, so to speak.
Well, I still think Cave and Irving, I mean, you have to account for those two guys, and those are big cats on the end.
They are.
And they will set up inside on your tackle. They'll go outside, and they have great closing. So, I mean, they widen that pursuit zone on the line, and you got to account for them. And so far, they've been making hay with it the entire first half.
Yeah, James Cave, the defensive end, with 2 sacks so far in the game.
Yeah.
And Caleb Irving with 4 tackles in this first half. So they have been doing their job. Ian Ussery also with a tackle for loss in the first half. So it'll be interesting to see if that was just a fluke, or if perhaps LBJ has found something to exploit in the second half of play.
I don't know. The thing you got to say about the four tackles that Irving had is, I think 3 of them were in backside pursuit. So that kid is just hustling after the ball.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is. And we hope to see more of that here in the second half of play. And, folks, we'll step aside as Parish will begin the halftime festivities here at Nelson Field in Austin. Your score as we go to halftime, Parish Panthers 27, Austin LBJ Jaguars 7. And, folks, we'll be back after halftime right here on Game On Sports Network.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the award-winning Parish Rosette. The Rosette officers are Lieutenant Abby Kanai, Lieutenant Lady Paddock, First Lieutenant Alexis Arnaldi, and Captain Alexa Lovely.
The sergeants of the Rosettes are Community Sergeant Allie Groman, Social Media Sergeant Courtney Schultz, Promotional Sergeant Abby Freeman, and Head Sergeant Annie Joyner.
The Rosette of the Week is Miss Sophia Kender.
And here they are, the Parish Rosette. The Rosette managers are Miss Lee Cotton, Felicity Shreelo, Joey Davidson, and Jillian Platt. The directors of the Parish Rosette are Mrs. Megan Bowen and Mrs. Sarah Snyder.
Good evening, Jaguar family. Happy fall to you and welcome to another Friday night of football with the Jags and halftime entertainment by the LBJ First Ladies and the one, the only LBJ Jaguar Band. The First Ladies officers are Captain Journey Hill and Social Officer Miss Ilani Thompson. Spirit Girl of the Week is Miss Ariana Pena. The First Lady of the Week is Miss Dulce Velasquez. Tonight, the First Ladies will present a field hip-hop routine. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for your LBJ First Lady. The one, the only LBJ Jaguar Band is led by head drum major Raina Joyner and drum major Marco Estrada and drum major Manuel Lopez. This week's halftime performance is dedicated to the LBJ Student Concert. And now, ladies and gentlemen, sit back and enjoy as the band performs Back That Thing Up and 400 Degrees, courtesy of that Marching 100 of Florida A&M University. under the direction of Mr. Byron Gold. The First Ladies are directed by Ms. Cheryl Ross. LBJ family, we thank you for your support of not only our sports and athletics, but also our fine arts department. From all of us here at LBJ, have a safe and blessed weekend. And as always, go back, stay focused, and remember, keep your eye on.
Update you on some scores. In the third quarter, Leander 13, Del Rio 7. Vanderdrift 31, Midway nothing. Clemens 10, Vista Ridge 7. Hayes 42, Cedar Creek 7. Land passes 21, Eastview 13. Liberty Hill 42, Georgetown 14. System Valley 14, East Central nothing. Bastrop and Round Rock Westwood are tied at 21. Lano 44, Crockett 7. Vader 35, Copper's Cove nothing. Cibolo Steel 35, Hutto 9. Bowie 30, Del Valley nothing. Vader New Tech 25, Navarro 7. Wimberley 23, Brock 7. Vista 35, Giddings 3. Lake Travis 28, Utah Johnson 10. Cedar Ridge 13, Parker Heights
7. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Austin, Texas, here at Nelson Field, a facility here in the Austin Independent School District built in 1963. This is its 60th season hosting high school football here in the Austin area. And, Jim, it's seeing an interesting game here tonight with the Parish Panthers as they lead 27-7 entering the third quarter. A fantastic first half by Parish on both sides of the football, until Austin LBJ came back and answered with that stunning drive to close out the second quarter.
Yeah, and everything was rolling along till the possum woke up.
Indeed, somebody poked the bear, and they went 75 yards in 6 plays for a touchdown. And now we're set to begin the third quarter of play. Parish will defend the south goal here at Nelson Field as they'll take the ball and move right to left on your television or on your internet screen. And, folks, once again, we want to thank you for joining us here this evening on Game On Sports. Brian Shackelford here alongside Jim Dixon, bringing you the sights and sounds of Week 3 of the 2022 Panther season as Parish leads 27-7 over Austin LBJ, and we'll begin the third quarter of play. The kick unit for the Jaguars bunching up, looking for an onside kick, and the kick by Faustine Mugisha away. It goes out of bounds. And another illegal procedure penalty. The first time this happened, Coach Novikov and the special team staff moved LBJ back 5 yards. We'll see what happens here on this illegal procedure call.
Well, I think this is short enough that you take the penalty and the yards.
Yeah, the ball going out of bounds.
Possession.
Well,
we're going to kick it again.
Yeah, the ball going out of bounds at the 25, which they would have gotten it at the 30 anyway. Anything behind the 25-yard line on the illegal procedure will give you the ball at the 30, but they'll move them back again. We'll see what happens here now as Faustine Mugisha, the senior kicking specialist for LBJ, will kick from his 35-yard line. Cedric Mays and Daniel Demery deep on kick return for the Panthers. And the Panthers here will have the opening drive of the third quarter on offense. They show onside kick, bluffing onside kick once again. And Mugisha puts his foot into it. This will be Cedric Mays from the Panther 26-yard line. Drops the ball, picks it back up, gets a block from Demery as Mays tries to turn the corner. And he's going to lose about 4 yards on the kick return, tackled on special teams. At the Panther 22-yard line, making the stop, Caleb Crenshaw. And not the way you want to start the third quarter of play.
No, and LBJ, I mean, they worked that to perfection. They went down on the short kick. They got back in their lanes, and they stopped any kind of advancement of Mays simply by just fundamentally staying in your lane, and that seemed to work out. And I'm not a big fan of chicanery on the kickoff, especially when something's not really working for you. But that worked out.
Parish pinned back at their 22-yard line. They'll start with the jet sweep to Cedric Mays. Mays trying to turn the corner on the far side. He'll just get back to the line of scrimmage. Upended there by number 16, Yaheem Riley of the Jaguars for no gain on the play. And Mays with only his second touch of the game so far.
And again, it's just something, just don't do anything special. Just do what you got to do. Stay in your lane. Don't get blown off the ball and close pursuit. And that's what LBJ did.
And now Parish with a tight end look and trips. Or no tight end. Trips here to the bottom of your screen to the left of Sawyer Anderson on 2nd down and 10 at the 23-yard line. Anderson back to throw. He's going to try to find the lone receiver on the top side of the field. And just overthrows number 12, Hutch Crow. And had he taken just a little off that ball, that would have dropped right into Crow's lap for an 82-yard or 73-yard touchdown catch. As it is, it brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, Crow got off the coverage about on the 5 and got loose. Didn't really have to do much of anything on the to get free on that thing because he beat his man off the line of scrimmage.
And now Parish will break the huddle. They'll face 3rd down, 10 yards to go at their own 24-yard line. 11:05 remaining in our third quarter. This is the opening drive of the second half for the Panthers. Sawyer Anderson back to throw. He's going to come to the near side to Derek Eusebio. They try the inside screen, and they'll gain about 5 yards on the play. Well, actually more like 2 yards on the play. The tackle made by number 18, Israel Castro, and that will bring James Cave and the punt unit on for the first punt of the night for Parish.
Yeah, that quick slant coming back, he was running into traffic simply because LBJ just stayed in your position, just stay in your lane, just do your job and don't over pursue.
And Cave gets the kick away, awaiting the kick. Cedric Alexander and Noah Baker. Baker will let the ball roll back to the 31-yard line, down by Daniel Demery. And now we'll see the Jaguar offense for the first time as they relegate Parish to 3 and out on the opening drive of the third quarter.
That was a knuckleball punt that Charlie Huff would have been amazed by.
Yeah, that one checked up, took a right-hand turn and rolled out of bounds. A nice punt for James Cave. 27 yards on the punt, no return. Or pardon me, make that 37 yards on the punt, no return. And now Gary and Hawthorne in shotgun formation for LBJ on 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line. He'll hand off to Cedric Alexander. Alexander with some tough sledding, but he'll gain 5 on the play. Gets across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Ian Ussery on the stop, along with Parker Meese. And nice straight-ahead running there for LBJ on 1st down.
Yeah, he just went where Cave was when he opened up on pursuit.
And now the screen pass to the top of the screen on 2nd down and 5. And breaking away, Noah Baker. And Baker taken out of bounds at midfield, but we've got a penalty flag back at the 40-yard line, and this may come back with another holding call. It's right in the area where the other receivers were blocking for Noah Baker to make the catch in the backfield, and the preliminary indication is holding against LBJ.
Yeah, and then when you're in a hurry up, like LBJ has been finding success here in the latter part of the first half, when you're in hurry up and you do stuff like that, it just compounds because it just puts you right back where you were and you're out of gas.
The ball moved back now to the Jaguar 30-yard line. It sets up 2nd down, 11 yards to go for LBJ. Hawthorne They'll try the screen to the near side this time. Catch made by Jaquan McGee. And right there to make the stop, Daniel Demery and Walker Anderson. They limit McGee to a gain of, we'll call it a gain of 3 on the play. 3rd down and 8 coming up.
Yeah, Demery came in off the far side on that, on backside, and just sniffed that thing out and got after the ball.
And now the Jaguars pinned in 3rd and long, 3rd down and 8 on their own 33-yard line. The clock moving with 9:10 remaining in the third quarter. 27-7 the score in favor of Parish. Hawthorne, the orange mouthpiece dangling from his face mask. He takes the snap, and there's Trey Williams with the sack. And Hawthorne goes down back at the 27-yard line, a 6-yard loss, and that forces 4th down.
Yeah, and that's one of the few times that you've actually seen 4 down interior linemen, and they seem to be able to shut the LBJ offense down with that extra man on pursuit, and it just closes those lanes down and forced Hawthorne down.
Yeah, Trey Williams up at the top of the screen on the left side of the defensive line, way out in a full 9 technique, came in there and brought Hawthorne down. And now Mugisha in punt formation on 4th down. Almost blocked. And Mugisha does get the ball away. And it will come to a stop at the Parish 32-yard line as Trey Williams and Caleb Irving try to get away from some extracurricular activity here back by the punter. No flags on the play. And now Parish will have the football on offense for the second time in this third quarter, still with a 20-point lead. And 3 and out the first time for the Panthers. What do we look for here, Jim, to see Parish get this offense started in the third quarter?
They just really have to reestablish what they've had going on in the latter part of the second or the first half, and they got to go back to what's been successful. And unfortunately, that's just kind of away from the run.
And they will run here on first down. Maddox Reed with the carry, a big hitter over left tackle. And he's all the way out near midfield. They'll stop him at the 48-yard line. A 15-yard gainer to open this drive, 1st down and 10.
Yeah, and that's a good way to start.
And Parish will go quickly, a quick sugar huddle, and back to the line of scrimmage, trips to the top side. 8:08, the clock moving, 1st and 10 at their own 48. Anderson fakes the handoff. The pass complete to Eusebio. He gets away from 2 tacklers. Inside the 40, and the sticks move again. And now Parish picking up chunk plays, a 15-yard run by Maddox Reed, and now a 13-yard pass play to Derek Eusebio.
Eusebio's great off the catch, and he'll just pound you, and he's taking on 7-8 blockers or tacklers rather, and just eating up yards for Parish.
And now the trips move to the bottom of the formation here on the left-hand side on 1st and 10 at the Jaguar 37. Straight ahead with Maddox Reed. And he'll follow the block of left guard Alex Jacoby and get inside the 35 at the 34-yard line. Stopped there by the Jaguars' Therion Gary. And we'll call that a gain of 3, 2nd down and 7.
Yeah, and Parish is exhibiting a more of a balanced attack that you haven't seen. A lot of times you're seeing an entire series where it's pass, run, and they're exploiting more balance. And obviously, they're having some success.
And now on 2nd down and 7 at the Jaguar 34, Anderson back to pass. He's going to go for the home run again down the far sideline. And the late penalty flag comes in as Hutch Crow stretching out to make that pass, and the back judge throws his hanky on the field down at the Jaguar 4-yard line. This looks like it might be defensive pass interference.
Yeah, and it looked like Harper had him walled, and then he just reached in late, and that's obviously what they're calling.
And Harry Harper will be called for defensive pass interference. That 15-yard penalty will move the sticks 1st and 10. And now Parish just outside the red zone will have the ball 1st and 10 at the Jaguar 24-yard line. And a much more efficient look to the Parish offense on this second drive of the third quarter.
Yeah, and again, Harper just matched speed with him. Played it perfectly. Just made an overreach error and give him the 15 yards.
And now 1st and 10 for the Panthers. The Jaguar 24-yard line. Anderson is going to delay the handoff to Cedric Mays. Mays cuts back against the grain, breaks 3 tackles, turns the corner at the 20, and is slung to the turf at the 19-yard line by Noah Baker. And how he got through 4 Jaguar defenders at the line of scrimmage to break away for a gain of 4, I'll never know. I thought he was dead to rights.
He looked like he ran into the choir meeting and busted loose.
And busting loose there for a 4-yard gain on the play. Some tough running right there for Cedric Mays. And he'll keep the clock rolling for the Panthers with 6:20 remaining in our third quarter. Panthers 27, LBJ Jaguars 7. 2nd down and 5. We'll call it 2nd and 6. Panthers at the 20-yard line of LBJ. Anderson looks to his right, looking for Hutch Crow on the stop route. And Crow well defended on the play by LBJ. The pass falls incomplete.
Yeah, and that was probably the better outcome that you could have got, because I think if it would have been on target, somebody could have come around and intercepted that because Crow was covered perfectly.
Henry Harper with good coverage there. And now trips on the bottom of the screen to the left-hand side of the offensive formation on 3rd down and 6 at the LBJ Jaguar 20-yard line. Anderson gives the handoff to Maddox Reed, and Reed moves inside the 20 down near the 18-yard line. A 2-yard gain on the play, and now we'll see what Coach Novikov will do on 4th down.
Yeah, that was one of the few stops that they've made on Reed tonight, where he just couldn't get his hips north and south and get loose. He kind of got his back turned, and that's one of the few times they've actually stopped him tonight.
Reed with a short 2-yard gain there, and now Ryan Schiller in the field goal unit on for the Panthers. Chase Burton, the holder, he'll spot the ball right on the 25-yard line. This will be a 35-yard attempt for Ryan Schiller. The kick is on its way. And good. Schiller nails it from 35 yards out. And your new score, folks, with 5:16 remaining in our third quarter. It's now your Parish Panthers 30, Austin LBJ Jaguars 7. And, Jim, not the perfect outcome that you want on a long drive like that, but at least Parish puts 3 on the board here midway through the third quarter.
Yeah, and I don't think you don't need to punch it in the back of the end zone every time. I mean, you're up, and you're exhibiting your offensive dominance. You're playing good defense. Take your field goal if that's what you can get. You put points on the board and you walk out of here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just a great drive right there by Parish after the 3 and out to open the third quarter. As they move the ball down, and Schiller connects from 35 yards out. Now 30-7 in favor of the Panthers. And, of course, if you're Coach Novikov and the offensive staff, you do want to score that touchdown on every drive. But I think you're right there. The opportunity presented itself. Take 3 points, and let's move on.
Yeah, I mean, put your defense back out. See what LBJ is going to adjust to. See if they're going to run hurry up. And unfortunately, their hurry-up's been hurrying their offense off the field.
And now Ryan Schiller with the kick, and he kicks the ball out of bounds, trying to emulate Dylan Sherman, but Schiller hooked it out of bounds, the ball going out of bounds near the 10-yard line. And we'll see how Coach Jamal Finner and the Jaguars will enforce this penalty. It looks like they'll take it 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Very wise.
And now Gary and Hawthorne, rather. And the Jaguar offense go back to work, 1st down and 10. And, Jim, I think if you were in the brain trust here of the Jaguars, you'd want to slow this thing down and get more of a stable rhythm going for Hawthorne here as we move past the midway point of the third quarter.
Definitely you want to do that, but unfortunately your only successes you've had is running the hurry up.
And the quick handoff up the middle to the Vanderbilt commit, Cedric Alexander, number 28, takes the ball to the 38-yard line. An 8-yard gain, and they stay in the hurry-up offense, 2nd down and 2. Another carry for Alexander, puts the shake and bake on Meese, has the 1st down and more. And that's 2 plays. 2 runs by Cedric Alexander, and quickly the Jaguars are out near midfield.
Yeah, and Alexander, he's a great ball carrier. That kid, he gets his nose in there and he goes.
4:45 to play in the third, 1st and 10, LBJ at the 49-yard line. And another sack of Hawthorne. This time it's Caleb Irving with the sack way back at the 43-yard line, a loss of 6.
Yeah, and Irving's fantastic on pursuit. He gets loose from his man, gets in the backfield, and just sets his target on his man and just brings him down.
Yeah, the junior defensive lineman with his first sack. That's 4 sacks on the day of the LBJ quarterback, Garyon Hawthorne. And the Jaguars now face 2nd down and 16 at their own 43. They go back to the running attack. Number 4, Brandon Waits with the carry. And Waits barely gets back to the line of scrimmage. Trey Williams makes the stop at the 43-yard line along with Caleb Irving. Williams will lose his helmet and have to come off for a play. And that brings up 3rd down and long for LBJ.
Yeah, and again, they're just not hitting on all cylinders on this hurry-up offense. They just can't seem to keep the right personnel on the field to keep the ball rolling.
Trips to the top side for LBJ on 3rd down and 16. Hawthorne with the pass. And a nice pass complete. He'll hit the short route at the 46-yard line. And the wide receiver down on the catch. Looks like he lost his helmet on the play. Credit Walker Anderson with the tackle. And we have an official's timeout for injury on the field. But a nifty catch right there. And nice control on the pass by Hawthorne.
Yeah, it was short of the sticks, and they were hoping to get yards after the catch, and the Parish defense just stymied them.
And it didn't look like a fairly violent tackle by any means. Hopefully the young man is okay down there on the turf. Maybe just landed on the football and knocked his wind out. But we have the clock stopped with 3:41 remaining here in the third quarter of play as the LBJ Jaguars tended to on the far side of the field. And it looks like this time the Jaguars will keep the offense on the field on what appears to be 4th down and 12 coming up for LBJ.
Yeah, they have to get everything on this. They can't leave anything up for the gain after catch, and or open the field up and see what they can get going. But obviously they have to. Now they're down one more guy on personnel, and they have to get the whole ball of wax here.
And the injured player appears to be number 10, Trey Young Anderson, the junior wideout for LBJ. After making that catch, he's favoring his left ankle. He'll get some assistance to the sideline. And you hate to see that. And as you mentioned, Jim, now they're down one of their key receiving players on 4th down and 12.
Yeah, and they're wisely going to go punt now.
And now they've changed their mind as Coach Fennell will put the punt team and Faustine Mugisha on the field. The clock now moving, 3:40 and running in the third quarter as Mugisha set to punt on 4th and 12 at the Jaguar 47-yard line. The snap gets away from Mugisha. This is the 3rd snap mistake on special teams. The ball still loose at the 10-yard line. Now picked up by one of the Jaguar players, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 10. And if you're Coach Fennell, you hate to see this. That's the 3rd bad snap on a punt tonight for the Jaguars, and it results in 1st and goal, Parish.
Yeah, and I think these are errors that are occurring simply because of depth. You're not working on all the aspects of the game. You're not focused on special teams, and it's showing. Your deep snaps are high, they're wide, and unfortunately, if you're gonna cede one of the aspects of your game and just give away special teams, a lot of times you just can't overcome that.
And now we'll see if Parish can take advantage here. 1st down and goal at the Jaguar 10-yard line with 3:20 to play in the third. Anderson will roll the ball up in the air and off the fingertips of Eusebio. That ball was up for grabs for quite a while, floating in the air, and it falls incomplete as Eusebio covered on the play by Therian Gary.
Yeah, Eusebio had to come back across his body on that reception. Basically, Anderson was out of sorts on that. Didn't get his feet set, and Eusebio had to come back in and that was perilously up in the air for a while.
Yeah, the ball knocked straight up in the air by Eusebio on the catch attempt, but it falls harmlessly to the turf, creates second down and goal, Panthers at the 10-yard line. 2 backs in the backfield. As Fields in motion across the formation, Anderson's going to go in the corner looking for Eusebio, and Eusebio makes the catch. Touchdown Panthers. He was blanketed by Fatu Makuba, but Anderson put the ball in perfect position, a 10-yard touchdown catch.
Again, just winning the last step of the route, and Eusebio just had to get loose from his man and turn around, and the ball was right there. Couldn't have asked for anything better.
And now Ryan Schiller and Chase Burton on the field for the point after. As Parish now leading 36-7, extra point pending. Burton gets the snap. Schiller with the kick. And the extra point is good. And folks, your new score with 3:05 remaining in our third quarter here at Nelson Field in Austin. It's now your Parish Panthers 37, Austin LBJ Jaguars 7. And Parish able to cash in on the special teams mistake by LBJ.
Yeah, and I mean, you just can't cede that stuff. You got to pay attention to all 3 aspects of the game, or you're going to end up on the short end of the stick. And unfortunately, with the depth loss from graduation of last year, with being sputtering on offense, your defense isn't playing great, and unfortunately your special teams hasn't really done you a whole lot of favors tonight.
Not very many favors at all that I can think of. You come into this game, if you're Coach Fenner, coming into the second half, you're already down 20, although you did have a very impressive drive to close the first half of play. And then one good drive by Parish for a field goal, and then a critical mistake by your special teams, and now you're down 30 with just over 3 minutes to play in the third.
Yeah, and losing, or giving up 10 early in the third is just not what you want to do. And LBJ is looking down the track, and by all estimations, they should run the table down here in this district, despite giving up personnel and school size. They're far and above what they're going to face going into district play.
Oh yes, just about every high school pundit out there has LBJ going undefeated in district play here, even though they have moved up to 5A Division II, and then it looks like beyond this game tonight with Parish, as they move into district play, they may not see another true test until maybe even the second round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
But we'll get back to action here. 1st and 10 Jaguars at the 30-yard line. And that pass dropped by number 1 Noah Baker. Gary and Hawthorne put that ball right on his fingertips, but Baker saw the footsteps of Walker Anderson charging toward him, and he dropped the ball, the pass incomplete.
Yeah, and I think you're seeing Coach Novikov not take his foot off the accelerator, but he is looking to find other talent, and game talent is different than practice talent. And he's giving these kids opportunities, as he should, because it's just going to pay dividends down the road.
Absolutely. Now here's second down and 10 for the Jaguars. With the carry, Alexander finds running room, and he's going to be hard to catch. And the Panthers won't catch him into the end zone. An amazing effort right there by the Vanderbilt commit, number 28, Cedric Alexander. He takes that on his own shoulders and goes 70 yards to the house.
And, that was a great play. But one thing you like to see is Daniel Demery in pursuit from Parish. He did not give up till that kid was across the goal line, and that's what you want to see, is these kids out laying it out and competing every play, every series.
And now the extra point attempt by LBJ. The kick good by Faustine Mugisha. And following an exciting and electric 70-yard touchdown run by Cedric Alexander. Ladies and gentlemen, your new score with 2:46 to play in our third quarter here on Parish Panther football. It's now Parish Panthers 37, Austin LBJ Jaguars 14. And Austin LBJ, Jim, they've looked out of sorts for most of the game, but it seems that on those brief moments when they can put everything together, just like in that last play and like the last drive of the first half, this is an electric offense.
It certainly is, and I mean, even though even though they're way deep in a deficit, I still think they could climb back in this thing.
Oh no, we still have 14 minutes and 46 seconds of football to play. There's still a whole fourth quarter to go, and if you can score on one play like that with Cedric Alexander, I'd have to agree with you. I'm not sure a 23-point lead is safe. I don't think this is any time at all to take your foot off the accelerator if you're the Parish coaching staff.
No, and you got to balance out seeking opportunity down the road and seeking opportunity for the remainder of the season with getting out of here with a W and getting out of here with the W the way you want to do it.
Indeed, and now Mugisha with the kick, angling toward the sidelines. And for some reason, all of the kickers in this game, with the exception of Dylan Sherman, are having difficulty keeping these kicks in bounds. 2 kicks out of bounds by Ryan Schiller, and now this, the second consecutive kick out of bounds off the foot of Mugisha. But I believe this one will put Parish in business 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, they look like they're going to kick it, but I guess they're going to turn it over to Parish and put them to work.
That 5-yard penalty will put the ball at the 30-yard line. Sawyer Anderson and company now go to work with 2:46 to play in the third quarter. Panthers 37, Jaguars 14 as we play football here in the third quarter on Game On Sports Network. A spread formation for for Sawyer Anderson and crew as we're ready to start this drive.
Well, and the other thing you don't want to do at this point with Parish is, from their standpoint, you want to exercise your offense. You don't want to tip your hand for the remainder of the season. So you're just going to have to play it straight and produce by doing that. But you don't want to empty the playbook at all.
No, because you have to know that there are scouts from South Oak Cliff sitting in the stands here tonight. On first down, Anderson goes to the top of the field looking for Cedric Mays. And it looks like Mays and Anderson unable to sync on the choice route. The ball behind Cedric Mays out of bounds. Incomplete, and it brings up 2nd down and 10. Now Mays in a trips formation to the bottom of the screen along with Fields and Eusebio. Bryson Fields the closest to the numbers here on 2nd down and 10 at the Parish 30-yard line. Sawyer Anderson to give to Maddox Reed. Maddox Reed straight up the middle. 50-yard line. He's going to turn on the Jets at the 40, down to the 30 and out of bounds at the 25-yard line. And just when you think the running game hasn't been working, Maddox Reed's with a big play there. That's a gain of 45 yards for Parish.
Yeah, that kid he finds a hole and he just gets going, and he's hard to bring down. But They brought him down from behind, but I think that's about the only way you could do is sneak up on him.
Yeah, and Reed, the sole rusher in the first half, he had 9 carries for 44 yards. He equals that on one run here in the third quarter, and we have another timeout for injury on the field with 2:27 remaining in the third quarter of tonight's game here at Nelson Field in Austin. The Jaguar player down back at the 31-yard line. And as we take a look at this, Jim, Parish now in business 1st and 10 at the 25. Is that just a good blocking scheme there by Parish to bust Maddox Reed out, taking advantage of the lineup of the offensive or the defensive line rather of LBJ? Or is that just a situation where LBJ was caught out of position on that big run by Maddox Reed?
Yeah, I think LBJ, I think they're a little worn down. I think Parish's line has been pounding them all night long. They're a little worn down. And Reed is he's hard to bring down, but he's a great athlete. But the thing is it's just like add an extra player into the roster. He got an opportunity tonight. He's done great with it. He's shown you what he can do, and he's opened up an opportunity for Mays to excel outside in the slot. It's given Mays an opportunity to carry the ball on the inside and do what we're used to seeing him do. But again, Coach Novikov is shaking up his roster. He's trying to find kids that can produce for him and finding roles for them, and that's going to pay off as we go down, into this meat grinder of the schedule. I mean, week 1 wasn't the bar fight. That was just the start.
Right, that was just the first round. The bar fight started tonight.
Yeah.
As Parish faces off over the next 3 weeks against 3 teams who all played in UIL state championship games last year. This being the first of those 3 against the Class 4A Division I runners-up, Austin LBJ. And the next 2 weeks, they upgrade from a state runner-up to state champions in both South Oak Cliff and China Spring. And as you were pointing out earlier, Jim, with the Panthers not wanting to show all their hand and empty the playbook, the addition of Cedric Mays out here in the slot in this game is going to give those 2 teams, because you think they're probably watching this game tonight, not only do they have to now worry about Cedric Mays at running back, they have to worry about Cedric Mays out at slot receiver as well and plan for that.
Yeah, and you also got to go, okay, well, what else did Coach Novikov discover in this week of practice and a little bit of this game? What other things did he find that he wants to exploit in the playbook?
Anderson back on 1st and 10 of the 25, looking for the home run again. And Hutch Crow trying to get a finger on that football in the back of the end zone. Nice coverage once again by number 3, Harry Harper of the Jaguars. And that pass falls incomplete, and Crow just unable to get the step he needed on Harper.
No, Crow was covered, he was walled, he was getting pushed to the sideline, and both those guys were just battling, just hand fighting to get loose, and one wouldn't give up over the other, and it was great execution on all parts, and just fell incomplete to the ground.
Now 2nd and 10 for the Panthers. They've got trips to the bottom of the screen. The handoff to Maddox Reed, and this time he'll have a short gain. He's wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage by number 19, Israel Castro. And Castro takes him down for just a gain of 2. And now the Panthers once again deep in Jaguar territory, not quite in the red zone, but they face 3rd down and long.
Yeah, and what you're seeing on the line is, I mean, these guys are getting deep into their second blocks downfield, and you like seeing that.
And now 3rd and 8 here for Parish at the Jaguar 23-yard line. Anderson scrambling out of the pocket. Now he's going to throw. A penalty flag comes in as Maddox Reed makes the catch. And then he is upended quite literally at the 14-yard line, slow to get up. Maddox Reed, now he pops up, but we've got a penalty flag back behind the line. And that call is holding against Parish. It'll bring back what would have been a 1st down for the Panthers.
Yeah, and Brandon Waits just laid the wood on that, just came in and just took his feet out from under him. That's a great hit from LBJ. It's showing they're not backing down.
Not one bit, and Reed forced into a full flip before landing on the ground at the 14-yard line, but it all for naught, as now the 10-yard penalty puts the ball back at the 33-yard line. And the Panthers will face 3rd down and 18. And what kind of play call can you find here? I'm sure they've got something in the book. Is this a position here leading 37-14, the clock running with 1:25 to play in the 3rd? Do you play for position here for the field goal, or do you try to get the big chunk in the 1st down?
Oh, I think you keep the ball rolling, and that's what they're doing. They're coming out with this traditional trips that they're going to show them, and see if they can take advantage.
And Anderson didn't see what he liked at all as they tried to set up the screen to Cedric Mays. And Anderson just drives the ball into the turf. And it will be 4th down and long for the Panthers. And it looks like they'll play some old-style traditional football and bring in James Cave and the punt team with 1:06 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Well, hopefully Cave can launch another knuckleball here that maybe roll back and they pin LBJ deep.
Yeah, this is where you want to bring Ryan Schiller into the game and actually have it go out of bounds instead of staying inbounds and rolling across the end line. Just kidding, Ryan. I know that Coach probably has you working on some stuff there, but now James Cave with the punt. He's going to shoot for the coffin corner. Try to check it up at the 3. Oh, Anderson's going to Alexander is going to try to return that from the 3-yard line. very dangerous there by Cedric Alexander, and he's pinned back at the 15. And for a minute, it looked like he might break that.
Yeah, and he almost did, but he came in late off the sideline. It was almost there was almost some confusion on the formation. He came in late, just running across the backside of the goal line to get that. Most people, I'll tell you this much: if he was back there to receive it, he would have let it go.
Right, he had just gone back there at the last minute, I think, just to put 11 men on the field.
Yeah,
and scoops up the football at the 3-yard line. Somehow manages to get it out to the 14. Still not as good as if they had let the ball roll into the end zone, but now it's 1st and 10 LBJ. 56 ticks remain in the third. As Hawthorne throwing to the near side, it's complete. Oh, and Baker getting away from DC Crane. Noah Baker with the catch, and he's going to be forced out of bounds by Kamzi Arinze, number 19, at the 21-yard line. And that was a dangerous play right there, although I can see DC Crane trying to make the loss, but it turns into a gain of 5.
Yeah, and he got him out on the wing.
And now Cedric Alexander with the carry. Had some good blocking out in front, but sneaking behind that to make the stop, Cooper Malin. And Malin makes the stop after a gain of 2. It'll set up 3rd and 2 now for LBJ.
Yeah, and Alexander just was running. He wasn't really committed to the run on that. It kind of looked a little broken.
3rd and 2 now for LBJ. Coming in on the blitz is Parish. Now straight up the middle. That's number 4, Brandon Waits. And Waits tries to put the move on number 6, Bryson Blackmore. But Blackmore holds his ground and makes the stop at the 36-yard line to move the sticks 1st and 10. The Jaguars stay in the tempo offense. Now, once again, Noah Baker with the catch. And he'll take the ball out near the 45-yard line. And now a very late penalty flag comes in, and this may be a costly error by the Parish defense.
Yeah, Cooper Malin came in with the stop and just kept going once his man was down, and happened right in front of the referee, and they're going to throw the flag on that, especially with the lopsided score. They just really don't want to let anything get out of hand.
Agreed, and this is 15 costly yards for Parish. Moves the ball all the way to the Parish 40-yard line. But luckily only 4 seconds remain in the third quarter. And before LBJ can get a playoff, the horn will sound and the third quarter will expire. Folks, we've got 3 quarters in the books here this evening at Nelson Field in Austin, Texas, as Game On Sports Network brings you live coverage of Parish Panther football. And folks, your score as we head to the fourth quarter here at Austin, Texas, it is your Parish Panthers 37, Austin LBJ Jaguars 14. And welcoming you back into the booth here, Jim Dixon alongside, this is Brian Shackelford with Jim Dixon here. And Jim, LBJ driving again here to finish the third quarter and to open the fourth quarter. And if LBJ puts this in the end zone, we've got a 16-point game with most of the fourth quarter left to play. They'll narrow it to a 2-score advantage for Parish. Yeah, and you're just not seeing LBJ give an inch, but they are out working. They're working their offense, and to great success. They're working the outside. They'll bring it inside. They're getting great runs. They're getting great yards after catch, even after the first contact. And Parish is they're stopping LBJ, but they're giving them spurts of success, which is keeping them in this game. And LBJ has a chance to get right back in it here as we start the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 Jaguars at the Parish 40-yard line. Garion Hawthorne hands off to Brandon Waits on the sweep coming to the near side. And this time Cooper Maitland makes a clean tackle but will lose his helmet at the 38-yard line. It's a 2-yard gain, but now Maitland must come off the field for a play. He'll be replaced by number 19, Kamzi Arinze.
And Waits, we haven't seen him a lot out of the backfield, but he's certainly capable of getting some yards, and he's done it a couple of times in the third and fourth quarter.
Now Hawthorne back to throw on 2nd down and 8. He's going to go long for Baker, and this pass way too long. 5 yards out of bounds. No shot at all for number 1, Noah Baker. And Baker well covered by Dylan Davis for Parish.
Yeah, Baker just gave up on the route as soon as he looked up and saw Dylan Davis coming across, he knew there was nothing going to happen. What they were hoping to do was get that corner to bite and run with him and not have the safety come over top.
And with the incomplete pass, LBJ now staring down 3rd down and 8 at the Parish 38-yard line. Hawthorne back to throw, looking to the near side. They're trying the out route for Baker. And Baker tried to make a circus catch there, but the ball just a little too far out of bounds. And now it's 4th down and 8 for LBJ.
Yeah, they're just not committed to these routes. I think they're more attuned to getting out in single coverage, and they don't really want to go over the top with a guy with double coverage on the sideline, and just not really committed to the route.
And now a timeout as Parish brings in the nickel package on 4th down, and LBJ will talk it over as Coach Fenner and his staff take timeout with 11:28 remaining here in our 4th quarter at Nelson Field. And the score remains Parish 37, Austin LBJ 14. And if you're Coach Fenner and the offensive staff for LBJ, what kind of play do you draw up here on 4th down and 8? You've had some electric runs here for Brandon Waits, as he has been kind of a change of pace with Cedric Alexander. Is this a run pass option for Hawthorne?
Well, I think the thing that you need to see is this is an invested timeout, like we've talked about with Parish in the first half.
Agreed.
And they, this is something they want to get these 7 yards. So I think they're going to spread the offense up, maybe look for a slant inside to take advantage of the open midfield once it's open. But they're going to have to do something and push that thing up 7 yards and get this first down.
And now Waits off the field as Alexander, the Vanderbilt commit, back in at tailback, but now he's going to move to a slot receiver position. This is going to be a tight end set empty backfield for LBJ, the LBJ Jaguars on 4th down and 8 at the Parish 38-yard line. As Hawthorne back to throw, he's going to take off and run, try to get to the first down, and he does not get there. The officials will mark him down a yard short at the 31-yard line, and that's a great tackle there by Daniel Demery to save the first down, and Parish will take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, and that should close the books on them. Parish should come out here, have a sustained drive, and keep LBJ's offense off the field, and that should be the end of it.
And we'll see exactly how the Parish offensive staff will attack here as Sawyer Anderson back out there. He's got 2 backs in the backfield with him, Cedric Mays and Maddox Reed. 2 receivers to the top of the screen. They'll begin 1st and 10 at the Panther 31-yard line. 11:20 remains in the 4th quarter. This is a zone read to Maddox Reed, gets a block from Mays, cuts back at the 45 and out to midfield, and more big chunk running for Maddox Reed. This is a 20-yard gain, 1st down Parish.
Yeah, once he cleared the line, he was open to run, and the only thing that really brought him down was backside pursuit. Otherwise, he'd have been scampering for 6.
Oh, he would be dancing in the end zone right now. The clock moving as it moves under 11 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. 1st and 10, Panthers now at midfield. Still 2 backs in the backfield with Sawyer Anderson. Fake to Maddox Reed. They're going to look for Crow on the near side. Almost caught. Crow laying out completely to make that catch. But good coverage on the play by Christian Watson, the sophomore corner for the Jaguars. And you might as well take a home run shot there at 1st and 10 at midfield. Crow just unable to make the catch. Good defense.
Well, and Watson was draped, but he did have a handful of jersey, and the back judge just kind of looked away on it.
And now we'll see how the Panthers will face 2nd down and 10 at midfield. Mays splits out to the top side. They'll hand off to Maddox Reed. Another big hole over tackle to the 30. Reed still on his feet. 15. And he'll get knocked out of bounds by the 10-yard line. Saving the touchdown for LBJ. That's Harry Harper. Another huge run. This is a 40-yard run for Maddox Reed. And he is responsible for 60 yards gained on this drive for Parish.
Yeah, and the corner came up to make the stop and just got run over. And Reed that kid's something else. And he just gives you he gives you stuff you didn't have 2 weeks ago.
No, he gives a straight-ahead offense, a straight-ahead tone to this offense. Mays likes to move in space where Reed just wants to lower the shoulder. It's a good combination. Now 1st and goal at the 10-yard line. Anderson going for his brother in the end zone. Or was that Hutch Crow? Pardon me, that's Crow as they tried the jump ball in the corner. And well defended there by Harry Harper of the Jaguars. It brings up 2nd down and goal.
Yeah, Harper did the only thing you can do, and he basically got his hands in between in between the Parish receiver's hands, and basically just kept him from keeping his hands together to make the catch.
And now a penalty flag on the ground. We'll see what the penalty call is here with our referee. And the ball being moved forward to the 5-yard line. It looks like it was a defensive holding. That appeared to be the signal from referee Wayne Elliott. As it does remain 1st down, that was defensive holding, so that's half the distance to the goal and an automatic 1st down. And now the Panthers have 1st and goal at the 5. And this is time here for the Panthers to put this game away, leading 37-14 with 10:13 remaining in the 4th. Maddox Reed the lone setback with Anderson. A jumbo package on 1st and goal at the 5. Anderson's going to throw into the corner of the end zone. Caught by Derek Eusebio. Touchdown, Panthers. That's Eusebio's 2nd touchdown pass of the game, and he played that perfectly, just like you said, Jim, winning the last 2 steps of that route.
That's all he did. He stopped with the defender on him, put his belly on him, and then backed away, rolled into the ball, and not a thing the cover man could have done.
The only thing Harry Harper could do at that point was the one thing he did do, and that's complain to the field judge.
Yeah.
And had nothing to show for it. And now the kick by Schiller is good. And ladies and gentlemen, your new score with 10:04 remaining in our 4th quarter here at Nelson Field. It's now your Parish Panthers 44, Austin LBJ Jaguars 14. And that was the drive that the Parish Panthers needed here early in this 4th quarter.
Yeah, I mean it basically closes the books on LBJ here. They could come out and run hurry up. They could put the thing in the end zone, but you're still having to have separation because you have a possession to answer.
That is correct. And now at this point, with a 30-point lead and just over 10 minutes remaining in the ball game, will Coach Novikov start to stretch his bench and see what kind of players he has in the 2nd and 3rd on the depth chart? As I think at this point, they may actually begin to prepare for South Oak Cliff next Friday night.
Yeah, I think any opportunity is a good opportunity to find talent, and you never know when you're going to find it. Kids play differently in a game; they practice differently.
That's true.
You got to find them consistently week to week. They're 16, 17-year-old kids. They're manic. I had a couple in the house, and
had a couple of young men myself.
Yeah.
Just this age, and now Dylan Sherman will put his foot into it for the Panthers. And we'll see. Nope, that one's out of bounds.
Kick goes out of bounds.
Sherman, I mean, he's still ahead of the game, 2 for 3 on the night, but that one just shanked off the inside of the left foot out of bounds at the 20-yard line. And we'll see how LBJ will enforce the call. But, I mean, that is the amazing thing and why I have such a deep respect for high school football coaches, because they're able to nurture this kind of talent out of young men 14 to 18 years of age and produce these kind of results on the field. I know that I wouldn't have the patience for it, and it just boggles my mind, and it's very impressive that these coaching staffs can have these youngsters excel at this level, with so much more of their life ahead of them, and produce like they do here on the field.
Just the fact that you can do it consistently.
That's correct.
Just says volumes, and any kid involved in either one of these 2 programs, their parents should be just thankful as all get out that they have this opportunity.
And Cedric Alexander with the carry there on 1st down tries to make one too many moves, slips and falls at the 35-yard line. Otherwise, that could have been a much larger gain. They'll give him 6 to the 36-yard line. Jaguars stay in the hurry-up and 2nd down and 4. And now the officials will stop play. And
the center jumped.
And this will be false start against LBJ. And yes, LBJ still with a lot of the season ahead of them. I mean, a tough loss to Manor in week 1. And if they, if Panthers do hang on here and LBJ goes down to defeat this evening, this is still a very scary ball club that you're going to have to face going into district play.
I wouldn't want them on the books because they are very explosive. They are loaded with athletes, and you're seeing here. You're seeing right here now. I mean, these kids, they don't give up.
No, they're not going quietly into the night. Number 15, Allie Scott, the sophomore, in now at quarterback for LBJ, and he just went for the whole 9 yards down the near side of the field looking for Fatu Makuba. And had it not been for the pass breakup there by Dylan Davis, that would have been a big gainer for LBJ, as otherwise it brings up second down for the Jaguars. As it looks now that they want to see what they have with their sophomore quarterback in number 15, Allie Scott.
Now Scott has been playing the first two.
He played quarterback the first two games. And now Scott back in at quarterback. He'll hand off to Cedric Alexander. And Alexander gets stood up by Cooper Maitland after a short gain. The referees blow the whistle as Alexander's forward progress stopped at the 38-yard line. That's a 3-yard gain. And it's now 4th and 2 for LBJ as the clock moves under 9 minutes to play in the ball game. And is this a situation here where they've seen what they wanted to see out of Hawthorne and see if Scott can possibly breathe some life into the LBJ offense?
I don't know because I have not seen Scott play in the first 2 games. I've seen highlights, and the kid has an explosive arm. I think they're probably trying to figure out what route to go as this thing opens up down the season.
Alexander with a move at the 50-yard line, cuts way back against the grain at the 20. Trying to get him, Daniel Demery at the 10, and somehow Parish comes back to make the stop. Parker Meese will save the touchdown for the moment, but another big explosive run for Cedric Alexander. And you see why right there, Jim, why he'll be playing ball at Vanderbilt next year.
I tell you what, probably because he's smart.
That too, yeah. They don't let just the average bear into Vanderbilt. You've got to have a good GPA there.
If I had these guys on the schedule, I would be very concerned about a lot of tools that they have, and you focus on one thing and they'll deceive you and open up something over here.
And that's exactly what happened right there. Is following the big run by Cedric Alexander, he takes the ball 6 yards into the end zone for his 3rd touchdown of the game. And now Faustine Mugisha with the extra point attempt. And the extra point is good. And folks, that makes your new score with 8:04 remaining in our 4th quarter. Here in Austin, Texas, your Parish Panthers 44, Austin LBJ Jaguars 21.
Yeah, and they're not going away.
Austin
LBJ is not going away. These guys they're staying in the game. They're working the playbook, and they're trying to execute, and they're doing it in spurts, and that's kind of they're not consistent, but by gosh, they're explosive.
They're true. I mean, we've scored, both teams combined here have scored 21 points in the 4th quarter, and we're not even 4 minutes into the 4th quarter yet.
No.
This was 37-7 when we ended the 3rd quarter of play, now 44-21. And who knows what can happen here with 8 minutes remaining. Parish is going to need to keep their foot on the gas.
Right.
And take this victory. They're going to have to keep moving, keep driving, and we'll see how they execute here as Faustine Mugisha sets up for the kickoff from the 40-yard line. DC Crane deep with Daniel Demery for the Panthers. The kick team bunches in, looking at the onside kick, and this one is an onside kick as Trey Williams will simply take a seat with the football at the Panther 48-yard line. And a nice play there by the Parish hands unit they'll have the ball 1st and 10.
Yeah, and you almost you don't want to see him closed in like that, but that he cut the angle at the 10 yards and basically just watched it into his breadbasket. Business done. But you're not seeing either one of these teams really kind of blink. They're still running their first and sometimes second team out there.
Anderson 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. He's going to hand off to D.C. Crane. Crane trying to turn the corner on the far side and strung out nicely by LBJ, finally coming through to make the tackle. The senior defensive back Noah Baker. And Baker with a big hit on D.C. Crane at the line of scrimmage for no gain.
Yeah, and they, again, that is just great pursuit, especially laying back from the safety. And, these kids aren't giving up.
No, the LBJ defense is going to keep fighting and try to keep the Jaguars in this game. The officials mark a loss of 1 on the play, and it's now 2nd down and 11, Panthers at their own 46. 2 receivers to the top side, a single receiver on the bottom of the formation. And this handoff straight ahead. Once again with the carry, number 4, D.C. Crane. Into Jaguar territory at the LBJ 49. That's where they'll mark that football. It's a 5-yard gain. And now 3rd down and 6 coming up for Parish as the clock moves with less than 7 minutes remaining.
Yeah, and this is probably the first time tonight that Parish has run the second team out, particularly out with the receiving corps. And they're just going to run bread and butter with Crane. And hopefully get a sustained drive.
Yeah, some elements of the second team offensive line in there as well. 3rd down and 6, Panthers at the Jaguar 49. The delayed handoff, Crane. He's going to get away from some tacklers in the backfield. Find an open hole. 1st down and more. Still on his feet, 35. And he'll be down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And that's some nifty footwork right there by D.C. Crane. He kept the feet churning and turned what could have been a 4-yard loss into a 20-yard gain and a 1st down for Parish.
Yeah, and he had, wonderful vision out of the backfield and just got wide and found his opportunity and exploited it.
And now Parish will continue to press their advantage. A fresh set of downs, 1st and 10. Now with the Jaguar 39-yard line, clock rolling as we approach the midway point of this 4th quarter. Panthers leading 44-21 and driving. D.C. Crane takes another handoff, and he'll follow the center for about a 2-yard gain. He'll be stopped on the play by the nose guard for the Jaguars. Actually, that's the middle linebacker, Israel Castro. And they'll mark a gain of 2 on the play.
Yeah, Castro just scraped in, worked in behind the line, and then dropped him in the backfield. And you can't ask for anything better.
And now Parish working the clock as they've got the play clock down to 15 seconds. The game clock continuing to move with 5:23 remaining in the 4th quarter. 2nd down and 8 yards to go at the LBJ 27. Sawyer Anderson still in the game at quarterback. The zone read to D.C. Crane, and this time Crane's going to lose yardage. Diving into the backfield to make the stop for LBJ, number 25, Therian Gary. And now we'll see what Coach Novikov will do. It's a 4-yard loss on the play, bringing up 3rd and 11.
Yeah, Gary just, again, shot in behind the line, wrapped up, and these kids aren't walking away.
We'll see how much fight they have in them. It looks like we'll see a big blitz here. We'll see if they choose to pass or how LBJ will defend this play. As now it's 3rd down and 11, actually 3rd and 12 for the Panthers at the LBJ 31-yard line. They'll stay on the ground and just run the ball straight ahead. D.C. Crane with the carry. And it looks like Coach Novikov and the Parish coaching staff will play conservative football here and just wind the clock down and punt on 4th down. It's a 1-yard gain on the play. It brings up 4th and 10 for the Panthers. And the clock rolling with 4:10 remaining in the 4th.
He's keeping the offense out, so I would think a quick kick or something like that.
It could be a quick kick by Anderson. We'll see what happens. Here on 4th down and 10 for Parish at the Jaguar 29. Less than 4 minutes remaining. Anderson handing off. Straight up the middle, still on his feet, and that's going to be a first down for Parish. What a run right there by D.C. Crane, and beyond that was Sam Liu, number 52. Crane follows Liu's block, and Liu into the second level, and that's what moves the sticks for the Panthers. Great play there by Sam Liu on the offensive line.
You know, and they're getting great punch off the line on these run plays. And that's where it's happening, and Crane is just following the numbers in front of him.
And now with a fresh set of downs, they'll continue to work on this clock. 3:10 and rolling for the Panthers. 1st and 10 at the Jaguar 18. DC Crane cuts back against the grain inside the 5. Another big hole there opened by Sam Liu and Aiden Gilmore. And this will be another first down. This will be 1st and goal, Panthers at the 5-yard line. So a gain right there for D.C. Crane of 14 yards on the play. Actually, it'll be a 15-yard gain marked at the 4. And now the jumbo package coming in for Parish. As the clock rolls, 2:35 and counting down. Panthers still with the lead, 44-21, trying to close it out here in the end stages of the 4th quarter at Nelson Field. And Sawyer Anderson takes a knee at the 10-yard line. And an interesting play here, as Novikov will elect to take the knee and not punch it into the end zone. And by the same token, it appears that Coach Fenner will not take his timeout. Some nice sportsmanship here by Parish as they look to just take a knee and run the clock out.
Yeah, and I mean, you don't want to close this thing out ugly, and it's been a great contest between a wonderful TAPS opponent and a UIL competitor. You don't want to have anything come awry late in the game and get anybody mad.
No, and I think this is some excellent showmanship here, or sportsmanship rather, by Parish, as Sawyer Anderson will take a knee on 2nd down back at the 14-yard line. And the clock rolling with 85 seconds to play in the ball game, 25 on the play clock. They'll have to snap the ball one more time on 3rd down with about a minute to go. And they should be able to work the clock down to about 20 seconds remaining before they have to turn it back over to Austin LBJ. Now 3rd down and goal for the Panthers at the LBJ 14-yard line. The Panthers remain in victory formation as Anderson will take a knee again back at the 18-yard line.
Anderson again kneels.
The game clock at 55, play clock at 37. So about an 18-second difference, and I'm sure the Panthers will run this all the way down before taking time out with 45 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Yeah, I mean, LBJ is, they have nothing to hang their heads about. They executed in spurts. I think as they advance on into the season, they'll clean up the consistency, and you'll see a very revitalized team rolling out of this 5A district down here in Austin. And by all accounts, they should live up to everything that has been written and talked about with them. Basically running the table down here, they have nothing to be ashamed of.
No, not at all. And LBJ heavily favored here in their district in Class 5A Division II. And a timeout taken by the Panthers with 10 seconds remaining. And now 4th down and 23, 4th down and goal rather, at the 23-yard line with 10 seconds remaining. The snap to Anderson. He'll take a knee. And with 8 seconds remaining in the game, the ball turns over 1st down and 10. And actually, it appears that both teams will just run the clock out. Well, no, now they stop the clock with 3 seconds to play in the ball game. Not exactly sure. I thought there would be about 8 seconds remaining. But we'll see how tonight's referee, Wayne Elliott, chooses to reset this clock, or if Coach Fenner will just let the clock expire. Instead, they'll leave the clock right where it is. 3 ticks remaining in the ball game. as Ollie Scott and the Jaguar offense will come back on for one more play. More than likely the last play of the ball game here with 3 seconds remaining. 1st and 10 for LBJ at their own 29-yard line. And Scott will return the favor and take a knee. And the horn sounds ending tonight's game. And Jim, a very impressive victory tonight by the Parish Panthers. The final score, Parish Panthers 44, LBJ Jaguars 21.
Yeah, and you got to wonder what happened. The first you have teaching moments with young men where they're coming off a literal high with Alita, with that win over them. Basically vanquishing somebody with 10 state championships and doing that at home. And then going down to Houston, not really hitting on all cylinders, and sometimes you can't get in the kid's ear until they experience something that's perceived unsuccessful, and maybe that's what came. Maybe that's the very best thing that came out of that Houston Episcopal game was you got to win. And it wasn't the way you wanted.
Right, very much reminiscent of a comment from Zeke Elliott for the Cowboys several years ago in a very bizarre victory that the Cowboys had over the Detroit Lions. I remember they talked to him in the locker room afterward, and one of the reporters asked him, said, "Zeke, that was a pretty ugly win out there today, wasn't it?" And he said, "Yeah, it was an ugly win, but lucky for us, there is no U column, only a W column, and today was a W." And to me, that's pretty much how things went last Friday night down in Houston. It was not the victory that they didn't win that game the way they wanted to win that game, but they held on. They came out and made that drive in the fourth quarter when they needed to, coming out with 6:28 remaining in the fourth and a tie game, drove down for the winning score, and the defense held on. So they got the W, but probably not the way they wanted. And I think what you've seen here tonight at Nelson Field was the result of a very efficient week of practice for Parish following that not so perfect victory at Episcopal School of Houston.
And to their credit, they came out and for the most part played a flawless game.
They did.
I mean, they really did. They didn't execute that well in the first quarter. They had periods of kind of dry runs in the third period, but they opened up against a very good LBJ opponent and have nothing. Neither team has anything to hang their heads on. For the most part, Parish played flawless, and that's all you can really hope for. LBJ showed great success in spurts. If they can close down some of the intermittent, less successful elements of their game, and maybe come up with a more consistent special teams approach. Hey, these guys, they're obviously going to do well as the season progresses, and potentially you could see them down the road in the playoffs, advancing well deep into the playoffs.
I agree, and I mean, tonight, the difference in the game are 2 snaps. One of the big differences in the game are 2 snaps that go over the head of the punter.
Right.
That give Parish the ball first down and goal. They take both of those opportunities and score touchdowns. Now, you take those 14 points off the board if the LBJ special teams is executing the way they should, and we're looking at a game here late in the fourth quarter where Parish is only ahead 30-21. As opposed to 44-21, the complexity of the game changes completely. And I'm sure Coach Fenner will be focusing on special teams here with his long snapper in the next couple of weeks to rectify those mistakes as the Jaguars head into district play starting next Friday night.
Yeah, and you just got to clean up the messes, and this is a great opportunity for them. It's a great non-district opponent. They're able to play a state champion. And anytime you can put that thing on the schedule, I don't care who you're coaching for, you're going to try and do that.
If you want to see what your football team can do, that's true.
Exactly. You want to test your kids, and on the Parish side, he's not hiding from anybody.
Not a person, no. I mean, the first game, this is, check the first box in 3 off of 3 teams that are, were in the state championship game last year, and we flipped this coin over to the Parish side. And the thing that stands out for me tonight is the performance of Maddox Reed and what he was able to do with the running game here tonight, just straight ahead, hard-nosed running for Parish, allowing Coach Novikov and the offensive staff to move Cedric Mays around and give them a lot of different looks. And I think that confused LBJ early. And then toward the end of the game, it was just the offensive line asserting their dominance, opening up huge holes for Reed as he gains well over 100 yards in the second half here tonight.
Yeah, and Reed, hey, credit to that kid. He was given an opportunity. He took every advantage. I can only think of one run that he was just not totally committed to, and it was a 4-yard gain. Wow, that's unsuccessful. It's a 4-yard gain. Okay, well, you're crazy. You need to go stand in the parking lot, buddy.
Last time I checked, a 4-yard gain was a successful play.
Yeah, that's pretty good. So, and the kid, the great thing that he shows you is he shows you that he has the ability to play against a quality opponent and deliver for you on a quality opponent, and gives you an opportunity to move other players around and exploit talents that other players may not be able to share and may not be able to benefit from. And that's the whole thing. How deep is your bench? How deep can you get how deep can you get kids to commit to plays in the playbook and pay benefit?
That is correct. And now not only do you have the excellent effort tonight by Maddox Reed, but Sawyer Anderson back on point tonight after a week at Episcopal School of Houston that he probably would like to have back. I mean, he did throw a touchdown in the game, but also had an interception. The passes seemed to be floating a little bit on him as he came to the outside of the field. I'm not sure if the crown on that natural grass field was working against him, but he comes out here tonight. Every pass looked crisp. Every pass looked sharp. 3 touchdown passes on the night, 2 of them to Derek Eusebio, who made 2 excellent catches in the end zone. And I think Sawyer Anderson righted the ship from what he would probably tell you was not his best effort last Friday night.
Well, and as you mentioned, there's adjustments to make on a grass field. There's adjustments to make in every field. It is. It's a 100-yard field. It's
165 feet wide.
Yeah. We have all these measurements, but there are elements that do change, and the turf is one of them. The crown is one of them, and it is totally different if you stand in the center point of a field that's got an 18-inch crown. It is totally different throwing sideline to sideline, and that's an adjustment that you have to make. And Anderson made those tonight, but his receivers did a wonderful job about closing out routes, committing to routes, and winning the last 2 steps of the route.
Yes, very crisp route running tonight by the entire receiving corps of Parish, even on plays where they were very well covered. We saw a couple of catches where LBJ Jaguar defenders were draped all over the Parish receiver, and they still managed to make the catch because of crisp route running and winning those last 2 steps of the route.
Yeah, and they're winning routes against some of the best athletes that they may see all year. These kids from LBJ, they are, you have kids that that brothers play at, that signed at Oklahoma and play at USC. You have kids that are committed to big time, Power 5 conference schools, and this isn't a walkthrough. These kids are for real, and you're going to see that play out as the season goes.
That is very true, as I'm sure we'll see LBJ do very well in district and probably make a deep run in the Class 5A Division II playoffs in the UIL later this year. So with this victory under their belt, and they've checked off, they come into week 1, they check off 10-time state champion Aledo. They take care of business there. They go down to Houston and they take care of business against Episcopal School of Houston. Now they come in here against the state runner-up, and they put the W on the board tonight. Now you take the next step in the next 2 weeks, and we go back home to Snyder Stadium next Friday night and welcome in the defending 5A Division II state champion South Oak Cliff Golden Bears.
I think the thing that is overlooked on that whole game is the fact that Sauk travels.
They travel well. They bring a bunch.
They put a lot of keisters in a lot of seats at Texas Stadium, and they love watching Golden Bear football and always have.
And always will.
And always will. And they are going to show up at Glory H. Snyder Stadium, and you are going to see a bunch of folks dressed in white cheering for Golden Bears. And I think that's one of the few things that's overlooked with what you have to deal with having Sauk on the schedule.
Oh, and a very smart move by interim athletic director Ahmad Ajami to keep those temporary stands in place on the visitor side of the field, as South Oak Cliff will have that side at least as full as Aledo had it, and maybe even more. I mean, as you said earlier, when they played in the state 5A Division II championship game last year, they had 30 to 40,000 people in the stands.
Yeah.
There at AT&T Stadium. So I imagine they're going to bring a full crowd next Friday night to Snyder Stadium, as the Panthers will get what I think it will be their biggest test of the season to date.
Oh, that's not even a question. I mean, that's one I'm marked on my calendar. It's like I told my wife, it's like, yeah, you go watch my daughter run in Lubbock. There's some silence at my house, and I was like, no, I got Sox on the schedule. I'm calling that game. Yeah. So that is one I had marked down. And I mean, you know that the fact that they travel, and the fact that you got a defending state champion rolling into town, rolling into your stadium, and you gotta deal with the cover boys on the Texas high school football, and you got to answer it.
Yep.
And that's very true, Brian. That is the biggest test that they're going to see, and they gotta take everything they've learned the last 3 weeks, and they gotta execute it, and they gotta be flawless all week long in practice. They gotta be flawless, at pregame. They gotta be flawless in school. They gotta take care of schoolwork. They gotta worry about a bunch of things. That's what happens when you got big time opponents on your schedule, and you don't get to make mistakes.
No, not at all, because if they make one mistake with South Oak Cliff coming into Snyder Stadium the Friday night following that, right behind the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears is defending Class 4A Division II state champion China Spring. So if you make a misstep with South Oak Cliff, your next opponent is not going to be any easier.
No. And we talked about this earlier. I mean, these games are scheduled, and they're scheduled, and the success is determined back in January and February in weight rooms, in classrooms, in learning what we're going to do, and these kids they're at Parish, and there's not a knucklehead in the bunch.
Not at all.
And they are students of the game, and they're students in life, and they know what they have in front of them. And there's no letdown, and there's no rest.
No, not at all. It's just next man up, next game up. And, folks, if you haven't come out to Snyder Stadium before, as much as we love having you here on Game On Sports Network, and we really do enjoy you tuning into these telecasts that we bring to you every week here with Parish Panther football, but if there was one week you wanted to come out to Snyder Stadium and see Parish Panther football in action, it's going to be next Friday night at 7:30 p.m. when the Parish Panthers host South Oak Cliff.
You know what? Show up and watch us with your phone.
Exactly. Show up, bring your phone, put it on full volume so all they hear from this side is Jim and I just describing the play 10 seconds after it happens. But, no, folks, we'd love to have you out there. And for those of you who can't join us, Please tell your friends and neighbors, tune in right here on Game On Sports Network, as we'll have live coverage of that game next Friday night from Gloria H. Snyder Stadium. And we'd love to see you out there in your red and white. And if we can't see you at the stadium, then we'd love to have you here on Game On Sports Network, as Jim and I will have that call next week. And Jim, a 3-0 Panther team, will roll into that game against South Oak Cliff, looking to make it 4-0 on the season.
Yeah, and it's a test, and they volunteered for it. They asked for it. So, you can't ask for anything more than to be given the opportunity that you wanted, which is to show what you're capable of doing beyond just tap state championships. And you want to toe it up with the big boys. And
they will do just that next Friday night. So, folks, don't forget to join us next Friday night right here on Game On Sports Network. We'll have the pregame show for you at about 7:10 p.m. as we'll have some extended pregame coverage prior to kickoff at 7:30 from Gloria H. Snyder Stadium. And, folks, like we said, if you can't join us live in the stadium and bring your phone and look live and listen to us on Game On Sports, by all means, tell everybody you know to tune into Game On Sports Network here, and we'll have live coverage of that game next Friday night. Should be, I would think, the game of the year so far in the Dallas-Fort Worth area between Parish and South Oak Cliff.
2 state champions going at it. I'm looking forward to it.
Just as the movie said, there can be only one. Well, folks, that's going to wrap it up here for us tonight. But before we say goodnight to you here from Austin, Texas, we want to thank everybody who made tonight's broadcast possible. The executive producer of Game On Sports is Fred Garner. Tonight's game was produced and directed by Ori Holman. Game On Sports technical producer is Trevor Von Dam. The sights and sounds of tonight's broadcast were brought to you by our outstanding camera crew, Josiah Johnson, Tanner Lucas, and Zach Sanders. And a special thanks to our administrators back at the home office, Lisa Carrillo and Sarah Beasley. And ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to join us right here on Game On Sports next Friday night, September 16th, as your Parish Panthers return home to Gloria H. Snyder Stadium to host the defending UIL Class 5A Division II state champion, South Oak Cliff Golden Bears. Our pregame show starts here on Game On Sports Network at 7:10 p.m. with kickoff scheduled next Friday night for 7:30. Tonight's Parish Panther football broadcast is a copyrighted production of Game On Sports Network and the Parish Episcopal School. Copyright 2022, all rights reserved. Any rebroadcast, reproduction, or other use of the pictures and accounts of this broadcast without the express consent of Game On Sports Network and the Parish Episcopal School is strictly prohibited. And Jim, as we wrap up tonight, your final thoughts on tonight's victory against LBJ.
Hey, 2 good opponents. Parish righted the ship. I think they got their heads straight, and they are ready to roll into next week and the next 2 weeks.
And I couldn't agree more. And, folks, we'll love to see you next Friday night. And until then, we're going to wrap it up here at Ira Nelson Field. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for spending your Friday night with us. And we look forward to seeing you next Friday evening right here on Game On Sports. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Jim Dixon, and our entire Game On Sports production crew, this is Brian Shackelford thanking you for joining us this evening and for your continued support of Parish Panther football. Your final score again tonight from Nelson Field, your Parish Panthers 44, Austin LBJ Jaguars 21. Until next week, good night and God bless from Austin, Texas.